mandates won't be paid for missed games this season. New York and San Francisco currently have a vaccine requirement that would prevent unvaccinated players from entering arenas. That would impact the Nets, Knicks, and Warriors. The Steelers' offense isn't that far off. It's close to getting back on track, according to quarterback Ben Roethlisberger. He insists that it's not one big issue for the offense. It's the little things like penalties and missed throws. Says they need to execute better. He believes the offense needs to start faster. That begins with him. The main problem for Pittsburgh is that offensive line, explains ESPN Steelers reporter Brooke Pryor.
The issues that Roethlisberger has had, a lot of them stem from that line. It feels like he's not able to go through his progressions, his reads very quickly because of the pressure that's coming on him. And he's been hit so many times in the first 3 weeks that I think it's really affected what he's been able to do.
Brooke Pryor on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. College football, Georgia quarterback JT Daniels is expected to play against Arkansas on Saturday, despite the fact that he's dealing with a lat injury.
Introducing ATG by Wrangler. We are all greater outdoors, and this apparel doesn't compromise, conform, or call it quits. So, when you're heading into the wild, wearing ATG should be second nature. Shop Wrangler.com today.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there. Make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day. All right, everybody, let's hump.
It's hump day.
Jahri Evans in 15 minutes.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
New Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame class announced.
Hump day.
Jahri Evans in it.
It's hump day.
Kyle Williams.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
The late, great Eric Andelsek.
Hump day.
Brittany Sneed.
It's hump day.
Man, so Susan Jackson.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
The late Tony Robichaux.
Hump day.
And others, an amazing class we will talk about with Jahri Evans coming up in about 15 minutes from right now.
It's hump day.
Oh, yeah, TJ Finley in Hour 3 is going to join us as well.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
All right, let's get rolling, y'all. A lot to get to here today. I'm glad you're hanging out over the next 3 hours. I mentioned, did have a chance to catch up with TJ Finley. You'll hear that conversation today in hour number 3 as Finley set to return to Tiger Stadium this weekend. And interesting convo as always. Thoughtful young guy, and you'll hear that conversation coming up. So, Ed Ogeron on this morning, on Wednesday morning, was on the SEC coaches teleconference. And he was asked for an update on John Emery and Trey Bradford, the two running backs that still have not had their eligibility determined. And this morning, this is what Ed Ogeron said.
There's nothing that we've heard yet from either one of them. And so we're going to continue to work them until we get a final answer.
Well, nothing as of 10 a.m. when Ed Ogeron was on the SEC coaches teleconference. And then about an hour and a half later, Ross Dellinger of Sports Illustrated tweeted this bit of news. The NCAA denied LSU running back John Emery's latest appeal to overturn his academic ineligibility. Emery's attorney plans to pursue other options, source says. For now, he remains ineligible this season. Okay. Once again, the NCAA is a total joke. And I'm going to rant on several things here for a second, but I want to start there with the crux of this, and I'll explain further in a bit. But I will also reiterate now what I said after the UCLA game when we learned of John Emery's ineligibility, which is that is a cataclysmic failure on LSU's part. It is fundamentally ridiculous that an athletic department that has a $100 million operating budget somehow, with all of the academic resources, with compliance, all the way up through all the support staff to the head coach himself, the fact that your starting running back is academically ineligible is absurd. Heads should roll because of that. It is unacceptable at every single level. You're not talking about a walk-on deep snapper. You're talking about a 5-star, number 13 overall prospect in the country, and he's not eligible. And I understand all the extenuating circumstances with COVID last year. You should have known it, and you should have planned far enough in advance, and you didn't, and you got stuck the day before the season opener without your starting running back, someone who you committed so many reps and so much time to being a part of this offense, and then just like that, he's not there, and your rush offense is a joke. Friggin' 123rd in the country in rush offense. This is LSU, y'all. This is LSU, a preeminent top 10 program when you talk about resources, an undeniable top 10 program with resources, and you're 123rd in the country in rush offense because you don't have an offensive line or running backs that are competent enough to go get the job done right now. That's unacceptable. All right. That's that. The other part of it is that the NCAA is a freaking joke. An absolute joke. In the day the NCAA no longer has any jurisdiction over major college football or major college men's basketball will be one of the happiest days of any sports fan's life, and I will be there with a poop-eaten grin on my face at the front of the freaking line. How in the world can the NCAA rule John Emery ineligible and not approve his waiver when you've gone to these lengths? Let me remind you, and this is my problem with the NCAA. There is no precedent and there are no checks and balances, and that's what pisses me off. I'll give you the curious case of Eric Gilbert. Comes to LSU, he's here in the fall, he's playing football, and boom, he opts out in December. He's no longer enrolled at school at LSU. He wasn't enrolled anywhere in the spring semester, commits to Florida, never signs there, enrolls at Georgia, and got a waiver to be eligible. Now, he's not playing, but that's not because the NCAA told him he couldn't. They told him he could. But Eric Gilbert gets a waiver. John Emery doesn't with all of the craziness of last year's COVID season. Absolutely absurd. And the fact that you actually have scenarios unfold like in 2013 when Zach Mettenberger was taking one online course in the fall of 2013. He was already an undergrad. He had graduated. He got his undergrad degree. He was in grad school, and he had one. They had basically manipulated all the classes to where he had one online class that fall. So you mean to tell me a guy can have one online class and be eligible, but John Emery, who through the wackiness of a COVID year ends up one class short of being full-time, and you can't get the waiver for that guy? Even though he's been in good academic standing otherwise, it's ridiculous. There is no standard. There is no precedent. There is a double standard for everyone within the NCAA. They make up their own rules, however, whenever, wherever they want, and it is awful. It is an awful organization. Burn it to the ground. You want to go run Division III cross-country championships? Mazel tov, brother. Knock yourself out. You want to hand out your little wooden trophy for the Division II track and field championship? Awesome. Congrats. Put up your little banner and go run cross-country championships or lacrosse in Division III. I don't care what you do, but stay away from the sports that matter, that make money, that have massive consequence on cities, on economies, on universities as a whole, on their enrollment, on kids' futures. The NCAA is a sham. They're awful. They need to kick rocks and get away from all of our lives. Burn it to the ground. Get rid of it forever. Sick of it. There's absolutely no standard, and there is no checks and balances within the NCAA. They are judge, jury, and executioner. They do whatever they want, consequence-free. I mean, look, on the field for LSU this week, this sucks. You're going against an Auburn team that is really good running the football. They average 257 yards a game, and their defensive front seven is really good as well. So Auburn's 25th in the country in rush defense, and you are 123rd in rush offense. I'm not saying John Emery's the cure-all, but would it help having that caliber of a back this week? Absolutely it would. A guy that can shake free, make you miss, maybe bust a big one, turn a 5-yard gain into a 50-yard gain? Yeah. In a game that might be close, of course I'd love to have John Emery eligible. Right now, Corey Kiner is your best option. Corey Kiner is averaging 2 yards per carry more than Ty Davis-Price on 13 fewer attempts. Ty Davis-Price, 40 carries for 123. Kiner, 27 for 144. Neither's been spectacular, but Kiner's been better, and you better ride him this weekend because you got to find some kind of a running game against this Auburn team. It's going to be without John Emery because the NCAA sucks. You know who doesn't suck? Jahri Evans. I hope one day he will be a Pro Football Hall of Famer, but we found out today that Jahri Evans will be a Louisiana Sports Hall of Famer. The new class of electees announced today. Jahri Evans is in it. He's going to join us next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Better coverage for less money. 293-0450. 293-0450 or lainsurance.net. That's what you get with Insurance Network of Louisiana. Again, so many people here amid Hurricane Ida have learned a lot about their insurance coverage. You've learned what your hurricane deductible is. You've learned if it's a flat deductible, if it's a percentage of your property value. You've learned how responsive your insurance company is or isn't. If you want a better experience with your insurance company, if you want better coverage for less money, let Insurance Network of Louisiana shop. 293-0450, 293-0450. It is free for them to shop for you to see if they can use their relationships with dozens of the top companies in the world to get you better coverage for less money. 293-0450, 293-0450. Stop overpaying to be underinsured. Call Insurance Network of Louisiana. 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
In most cases, you'll never get more for your trade-in than right now at Corval Toyota in Opelousas. Now's your chance to upgrade. You can pre-order your new Toyota today or choose one of our pre-owned vehicles and we'll buy back your current vehicle at a price that will absolutely amaze you. You can walk away with more money in your pocket than you ever thought possible. At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, that's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at PatientPlusUC.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
And our topic today is about savings. What is savings?
Hancock Whitney isn't just a bank for our clients. We're investing in our hometowns, making life better for everyone. So keep dreaming. We've got your back.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law offices of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Earlier today, the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame announced their 2022 induction class. A lot of very familiar names on the list, certainly for people here in Louisiana. The late, great Eric Andelsek, the late, great Tony Robichaux, also on that list. Former LSU great Kyle Williams will be inducted, along with Brittany Sneed, Susan Jackson, Dr. Eddie Flynn, Steve Duhon, legendary track and cross country coach Clanny Duplashen, and our next guest, Jahri Evans of the former New Orleans Saint great, of course, an all-pro interior lineman who one day we hope gets his call for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but today it was the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame who came calling, and Jahri's with us. Jahri, thanks for the time. Congrats, man. How are you today?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me. It's an honor. Everybody in Louisiana has great athletes, great players, and it's a truly honor to be going to the Hall of Fame next year with the rest of the guys that's going in.
Man, everyone's fired up for you, no doubt. And it's really fun for people who got to experience that great run with the Sean Payton, Drew Brees era, to see all of these players like yourself be honored. It's a lot of fun for those who watch those teams. So I'm curious for you today, like how did you find out? When did you find out that you had been elected?
I got the phone call. What day was that? Where were we? Wednesday. My days are kind of running together. Yeah, I just got the phone call. I was down at my restaurant and got the phone. I think it was Monday. I got the phone call, and yeah, it's just I was excited. I know I had a great career, and we won a lot of games. And when you're playing, your whole focus is just winning. Winning the game, winning your individual battle, being the best player you can be, and celebrate your team wins. So, but now since I'm retired and getting the accolades, it's great to be honored.
Jahri, for guys from Philly, and you went to Bloomsburg up there in Pennsylvania, you get the call as a fourth-round pick of the New Orleans Saints. I mean, what was your impression of Louisiana whenever you get picked by the Saints back in 2006?
Honestly, I didn't really know much about New Orleans, Louisiana, growing up here in Philadelphia and going to Bloomsburg. I just knew that when I was going into the draft and, everybody had their grades on me, they weren't thinking that I thought I was going later round. And then once I knew one of my OCs got picked up by New Orleans, Jim Monis as a scout, and, got on their radar, that's when I start saying, oh, wow, here's New Orleans. But, that season, they didn't even play in New Orleans that season. They played in San Antonio. So being the young man that I was basically just keeping my head down, focusing on being the best player I could be, finishing out my senior season, and just hoping one of the 32 teams pick me. And when I got that phone call from Coach Payton and Coach Marone, it was a great day.
183 career games played, 183 career starts, 6-time Pro Bowler, 4-time first-team All-Pro. He was a second-team All-Pro in 2013, member of the 2010s All-Decade team. When you at Super Bowl champion, maybe most importantly, whenever you rattle through all the accomplishments, Jahri, and most guys when they're playing, it's really hard to focus on the accomplishments while they're playing. But now that you've had a few years removed to sort of reflect, what do you think about when you think back on your amazing NFL journey?
I think about, the great victories we've had, the fashion that we won, the games that we won, our camaraderie as a team, the great locker rooms we had. A lot of my mentors in the O-line room early on in my career, a lot of great coaches, and then just being able to stay healthy. I think that is really the major key. They say the best ability is availability, and I was able to stay healthy in my preparation and my training, and then in the way that I played, and just having great teammates and working together and just winning, man. It's great to have the individual accolades, but it's difficult when you're not winning. It's awesome when you're winning, everybody's happy. So I'm just happy that we won a lot of games.
Man, when you think now with the benefit of hindsight as well, what you knew or didn't know about New Orleans and Louisiana when you were picked as a young man, and then you're spending more than a decade in the city, in the state, what does Louisiana mean to you now?
Oh, I love it, man. I still remember driving into New Orleans in my brand new Cadillac truck I still have, and getting to the city and seeing the city, how strong the city was after Katrina, and bouncing back and seeing how everything was coming back. And, you hear people say, well, New Orleans will never be the same. And for me, I didn't have any, vision of New Orleans before getting there. So everything was new to me. So just the culture, the people, the food, the atmosphere, it's no place like New Orleans. There's no place like Louisiana. I tell people all the time, the best place to win a Super Bowl, everybody tries to do a Mardi Gras, but if it's not in New Orleans, it's not Mardi Gras. So it's just those parties and the atmosphere and the joyfulness of the people and just the the greatness of it. It's like Vegas. It's like Miami. It's really its own unique place.
Jahri Evans is with us, former Saints great. Today it was announced he's going into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. There's going to be a bunch of great events, starting with the golf tournament November the 15th and 16th in Baton Rouge at L'Auberge. You can learn more at lasportshall.com, lasportshall.com. Jahri, last Saturday was the 15-year anniversary of the Dome coming. Steve Gleason's block punt that night against Atlanta. You were a rookie, so that was your first game in the Dome. I can only imagine, now that you can contextualize that a little bit, having played such a long NFL career, and that being your first game in that building, what do you think about when you go back to that night?
I just think about how confident we were that we were going to win. It was the longest training camp I've ever been along. I mean, it probably was the longest training camp of guys that have been 6, 7 year, 8 year vets that were on that team. We were in Jackson for a long time in Jackson, Mississippi. I actually played a preseason game at Jackson State University. So, our energy was very high, knowing that, everything that happened leading up to that game, the fans coming back in that building and just delivering them a win. And it was against a dynamic team, Michael Vick and those guys. So it wasn't an easy task, but I tell you, man, we were ready, man. The guys were ready. And then when Gleason just blocked that punt, it was just like, wow, it's, they're not going to beat us today. And, that just the preparation in that game. I was actually in that classroom on the special teams because as a rookie, you sit through all the special teams, and the preparation that coach and Steve and the guys took to execute that play and for it to lead to a touchdown and put points on the board and the rest is history, and that's winning that game. It's a beautiful story.
Jahri Evans, hey, man, a couple more before you go. You're already in the Saints Hall of Fame. You're now elected into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. You know where I'm going. One day, Canton very well could be coming to knock on your door. Do you think about that often?
Yeah. I do. I thought about it throughout my whole career. It's been a goal of mine. I've always tried to strive to be the best player I could be, and I'm happy that it's a very high possibility, and looking forward to it and looking forward to the journey and the anticipation of it. But I know it's not easy. It's been a lot of great players to play this game. There's still a lot of great players that's not in the Hall of Fame, especially at my position. Mm-hmm. So, we all know how the process goes. And when that day comes, it'll be an exciting time.
Hey, do you get to watch I know you're back home in Philly. Do you get to watch these Saints much? Do you keep up with the team and the franchise?
Oh, yeah. I watch the Saints all the time. I'm here on the radio here in Philly with Fox Sports Philadelphia, and I have a restaurant right next to the stadiums, and in the stadium district next to the new casino we have down there at Xfinity Live. So I'm definitely in the sports atmosphere. I watch the games. I keep up with it. On my radio show every Monday, we talk Saints, we talk Eagles, we talk Packers, we talk all over the league. We talk players. It's with my longtime sports agent and attorney, Gerald Colton. And so I'm around the sports atmosphere, man. I keep in contact with the guys, and we do fantasy football and other stuff. So I watch the guys play. I'm glad that they rebound from that Carolina game. Tough game. Did not see that happening, but I like the trajectory that they're on. I think Coach Payton and his staff are doing a great job of getting the right character guys in there to fit the scheme, to fit the offense, to fit what they like to do. And I'm looking forward to seeing Jameis, show the greatness that he has through the year with the ball, and Coach Payton and the other coaches facilitating his decision making to show that he can be a good QB. It's always difficult to watch the Saints without Drew Brees. We're 3 games in. I know it's difficult, but like Coach Payton told me before, it's a point in time where we all have to get off this bus, and I like the way they're heading, man. I'm more excited for the coaching staff to actually, let their genius be known. We all know how great a play caller Coach Payton is in his own right, but we all know how great Drew Brees was on the field and being a coach on the field, and then also that great general and that player. He made all of our lives easier, from the classroom to the field to everything. And we wish we all could play forever, but I'm really excited for coaching and their task to put W's on the board with the squad that they have. And I think they got some great guys on offense and defense, and I think they're going to do some good things.
Hey, Jahri, what's up with Drew Brees' hair, man?
Yeah, what's up with it? What y'all expect, man? What y'all expect, man? He looking good on TV. He TV ready. He's like, no more helmet hair. No.
It's like the biggest talking point down here. Everyone's like, now what did he do? Did he do the surgery? It's all shades of Brian Urlacher after he retired, man.
Exactly. Like, sometimes it don't matter how you get there, as long as it looks good when you're there, right? Or the golf course, as long as you look good when you're playing. So, it was a surprise for everybody. I don't think he put a lot of social media posts before getting on TV, probably because of that reason, with the hair thing. But he looks great, man. He looks great on TV, and I think he's going to do a phenomenal job, especially explaining the game to the fans from a quarterback perspective and being in the booth. I think he's going to be excellent at it.
Jahri, you're talking to a guy that's got to put makeup on his head every day for this radio TV show so my bald dome doesn't shine. So it's nothing but respect for Drew doing whatever he did, man.
It looks good. It looks good.
Hey, man, congratulations again. Jahri Evans will be part of this 2022 Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame induction class, which is going in this coming up June, the 23rd through the 25th that weekend. Tickets are available at lasportshall.com. The golf tournament is coming up in November at U Club in Baton Rouge, and Jahri will be here, man. We look forward to this journey up until June with you being inducted there into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. Congratulations from all of us, man. We'll look forward to celebrating during induction weekend.
Awesome, man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's our pleasure. Jahri Evans, former Saint great, and one day the Pro Football Hall of Fame will come calling as well. He's obviously got his requisite 5-year wait period like everyone does. His last season was 2017, so 2022 would be 5 years, at which point he'd be eligible to go into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But he said there that what's interesting is a lot of guys won't acknowledge that they think about it, that they think about the Hall of Fame. He said he thought about it during his career and playing great, and that was a goal of his. Even if it is, most guys won't acknowledge it. But Jahri Evans said there he did. So that it's a very real possibility. When you remember the All-Decades team and you're a 6-time Pro Bowler and you're a 4-time first-team All-Pro, the thing, though, that I guess many of us learned with Kevin Mawai and with Alan Faneca is, man, even the greats at those positions, you just have to wait. You have to be patient and wait your turn, because there's a logjam of guys who belong in the Pro Football Hall of Fame that, because of the numbers limit that's capped every year, it's a logjam to get in. And you see it at positions like receiver as well. So I have a feeling Jahri Evans' day is going to come. that he will get a knock on the door and he will be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But in the meantime, he just keeps checking other boxes. Saints Hall of Fame, Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, and someday, certainly, hopefully, it'll be the Pro Football Hall of Fame as well. All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're with us here on a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Pluckers. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back and we'll go around the SEC. Bourbon Dictionary with Taylor Calandro coming up. TJ Finley joins us in hour 3. A lot to do. Glad you're here on AFR.
AFR.
Had lunch today over at Pluckers, the Nicholson location. Wanted a little grilled chicken salad. It's a great option if you want something light and delicious. Their salads are filling and hearty. They're great at Pluckers. Or maybe you just want to go binge on a whole mess of wings. Awesome opportunity to do it. Wednesday night, trivia at the Nicholson location. So get your team together, test your knowledge, general knowledge trivia on Wednesday. So test your knowledge, win Pluckers gift cards. That's at Pluckers. Nicholson, just south of campus, Bluebonnet right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. LSU game day before or after the game. Remember, Pluckers open to midnight or later every night of the week. Pluckers is a great spot. And if you need to catch some AC on game day, you can get in that Pluckers right there on Nicholson's walking distance to Tiger Stadium. And you actually legally can carry Go Cup. So you can go get your draft beer, your whatever it is you want from the bar at Pluckers. You can carry it around just outside of campus there as well. It's at Pluckers. Nicholson, just south of campus. Bluebonnet, right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. It's Pluckers, where if you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
I'm feeling good. So good. I just thought you should know.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million-mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. Need repair? Our service department is ready and available to help you today. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Tonight, we invite you to celebrate life, wherever and whenever you can, understanding that time is never on our side. Instead, gather up your friends tonight and share a few stories and laughs over a good bottle of wine. Or maybe a family meal that gives everyone a chance to reconnect and remember what's really important, whether it's for a birthday, an anniversary, or simply to remind someone special that they are loved. Rafino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not stop.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Lane Kiffin and Michael Wilbon are having a little Twitter tiff. Wilbon started it. This is what Wilbon said on PTI yesterday.
Because of Lane Kiffin. The answer is Alabama because of Lane Kiffin. There's nothing to be proud of if you're a college footballer or any other sport with Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin's a clown. Lane Kiffin has been an embarrassment at multiple stops. I mean, nobody's going to run out there and say, yeah, I want Lane Kiffin right here on the logo representing me. The answer is Alabama, Tony. Lane Kiffin's a cute little story for guys like us who have to talk about sports every day, and we can come in Monday and say, ha, 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 Lane Kiffin. Once again, Lane Kiffin equals embarrassment at some point wherever he is. Alabama.
He hasn't been.
So, Wilbon called Kiffin a clown, said he's been an embarrassment. Lane Kiffin was added on Twitter in the video, and Kiffin did reply because that's what Kiffin does. So angry, angry face emoji. Geez, I'll pray for you. Life is too short to be so angry. He did put T-O short instead of T-O-O. So Kiffin, grammar, that might be a little embarrassing. And then he followed up later with another tweet, and he said, and way to go out on a, well, he said limp instead of a limb. He said, way to go out on a limp and pick the number one team in the country at home who's a huge favorite. How long did you watch film to come up with that surprise pick? Really newsworthy, Captain Obvious, at PTI, laughing emoji. That's been liked more than 6,700 times. So Kiffin went after Wilbon, and good for him. I'll remind you, by the way, national media largely ignores college football, which is unfortunate. So they talk about it out of obligation at times, but largely don't know it. And I'm not pointing the finger. It's just the reality. When you're in the national media, you're looking at the things that are going to drive ratings, and largely in our country, that is the NFL and NFL major markets. They're not locked into what's happening at Bama and Ole Miss, just realistically like we are. So, I mean, that was like a lot of the national media that was picking Clemson to beat LSU in 2019, when any person with a pulse who watched those teams all year knew LSU was going to kick the holy hell out of whoever they played, just like they did with Clemson. But if you don't think that's going to be even more incentive for Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss this week, do you remember last week our poll question? Do you remember our Citizens Bank poll question last week? Do you remember it, Muse?
I remember it.
Is picking Ole Miss? Matt Moscona is picking Ole Miss to beat Alabama straight up. Is he off his rocker? I went and checked the results today, Muse.
What were those?
56.9% said no. Matt is not off his rocker. I think today there might be, if we redid that poll question today, you might see that number higher. Let's redo that poll question.
We can do
Let's
that,
redo that poll question today. Matt is I did an interview in Alabama, in Birmingham today on Jocks FM, and I straight up picked Ole Miss. I'm surprised. I haven't gotten a bevy of hate tweets from Alabama fans, which means they either weren't listening to that interview or they know that it's probably an inevitability that the team's going to lose this weekend. It's after Firth, by the way, I'm picking Ole Miss straight up. I'll keep saying it. Brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, WilliamsonEye.com. WilliamsonEye.com. Was just having a conversation with a coworker, as a matter of fact. Was straining to see. And I said to her, why don't you call Dr. Blake Williamson? What's wrong with your eyes? I don't know, this and that. I said, go see Dr. Blake Williamson. I've seen everybody. If there's something to be done, if there's any refractive procedure that can be done, they do it at the Williamson Eye Center. State-of-the-art new surgery center right there on their Baton Rouge General Campus. Bluebonnet, you turn off a Bluebonnet onto Picardy. Right up, come to the first stop sign of the building on the right. First two floors, that's the Williamson Eye Center. Go check them out. Go for that consultation. 924-2020. 924-2020 or WilliamsonEye.com. Okay, Taylor Calandro with a little Bourbon Dictionary coming up. Right now, we do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Auburn Tigers.
Linebacker Owen Popo and wide receiver Demetrius Robertson, they've both been dealing with separate injuries that sidelined them last week against Georgia State. Brian Harsin, though, sounded hopeful the two would be available against LSU on Saturday. Proposed starting linebacker and a team captain. Robertson did practice Tuesday. He's expected to be ready to go.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
Couple of updates. Quarterback JT Daniels missed week 2 against UAB with a strained oblique. Kirby Smart on Wednesday said the oblique's fine. He's actually been having an issue with his lat that could cost him some time. Daniels was pulled after 1 quarter against Vanderbilt this past weekend for that reason. Another bit of housekeeping there. Scott Cochran, you might remember, left the Georgia program for mental health and well-being before the season started. Well, Cochran is temporarily back around the Georgia football staff and could be rejoining them soon. He was hired after the 2019 season to be the special teams coordinator at UGA. Georgia, in the meantime, has promoted Will Muschamp from analyst to special teams coach.
The Tennessee Volunteers.
Saturday night, in the Vols SEC opener at Florida, there was an injury to senior Hendon Hooker, which forced Joe Milton back into action ahead of schedule for the Vols against the Gators. Now with the Vols preparing for a trip to Missouri, Josh Heupel, yet to name a starting quarterback, says he's not clear if Hendon Hooker's going to be available. If he's not, Joe Milton is closer to 100%, but still not there. Heupel stopped short of saying whether or not Milton would start if Hooker is unavailable.
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
2022 offensive tackle Elijah Pritchett has picked the Crimson Tide, the number 94 overall recruit in the country. Chose Bama over Georgia, Florida State, and USC. 6'7", 285. He's the third offensive tackle in Alabama's class. Bama now with 15 commits for 2022.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
And Arkansas offensive tackle, high school offensive tackle out of the state of Arkansas, Joey Su'a. He has committed to the Hogs. Su'a is commit number 3 for Sam Pittman and the Hogs for the class of 2023. 6'5", 315. That means he's a high school junior at 6'5", 315. He's a high school junior at 6'5", 315. He was offered during a visit in July. Also has an offer from BYU. He's the 50th best offensive tackle in the country, the number 2 player in the state of Arkansas. There you have it. That is around the SEC. 6'5", 315 as a high school junior.
A pretty good offensive line up there in Arkansas, don't they?
A big dude, bro. 6'5", 315. Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy, Trey Beal, and our friends, Gulf Coast Office Products, online, gcopnet.com. GCOP is in Gulf Coast Office Products. gcopnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. All right, poll question is up. Citizens Bank poll question of the day. I'm picking Ole Miss to beat Alabama straight up. Am I off my rocker? I wonder if we need to word that differently.
We did last time. You want to do it completely differently? Or?
Well, I'm just wondering if I wonder if people think, like, the question is, do they think Alabama or Ole Miss can beat Alabama?
I mean,
I don't know. You'd have to. It's just Twitter. People. Whatever. Okay. Go vote. Twitter polls up there. Okay, let's knock out a quick break. We'll come back and we'll talk some booze with Taylor Calandro. Oh, it's getting to be whiskey season. A little nip in the air. It's a beautiful time of year. Get your booze questions in. Bourbon Dictionary next.
AFR.
If you're thinking about selling your home, call Darren James and get your home sold. Do you know that 73% of people that list their home for sale by owner end up hiring a realtor? It's true. You might think, I'm going to save the realtor fees. I'll just do it myself. The problem is a lot of times you don't know how to properly price your home, maybe. It's listed for too high of a price, and then it gets stale sitting on the market. Or maybe you just don't have time for all of the showings, whatever it may be. 73% of people that list their home for sale by owner end up hiring a realtor. So just call a realtor that sells more homes than anyone. Call Darren James. Among the top 1% of realtors in America, based on the number of homes closed. 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com, agent225.com for Darren James.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Service Mastery Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Mastery Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Mastery Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
They're the gang with the slang. This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
All right, wrapping up hour number 1. We welcome aboard Taylor Calandro, Wine and Spirits Director from Calandro's, 2 locations in Baton Rouge. It is Bourbon Dictionary. Get your booze questions in. How are you, dude?
Good, Matt. Driving home in the rain.
Is there any way you could pick up your handset? Or is that just going to be
my handset?
Yeah. It would just, was that, because it just would be way, way better audio for the audience. I'll fill into it.
Better now?
Yep, that's better. Hey, so anything, I'll start, I got a bajillion questions lined up because I've started to put up the call for questions earlier, so I got a bajillion of them. Anything new that people need to know?
Dude, in the line, we're barely getting any trucks in right now. We don't have anything on the shelf. Just still trying to get the supply chain running. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know who's in charge of the supply chain in this world, but it's awful right now.
I think it's pretty much everything. Hey, Moose, do me a favor. Taylor, we're going to hang up. We're going to call you right back. We're just in a bad connection. I want to make sure we get him in a better connection there. It was hard for me to hear, so I know people driving right now. It's really hard for them to hear as well. So we'll get Taylor back on the line real quick. Let me just take this quick 30 seconds to remind you about Shawbill's Tire and Auto Service, ShawbillsTire.com. 18 locations in South Louisiana. You know the drill. Find the location nearest you at ShawbillsTire.com. The check engine light comes on? Shawbills. You need your tires rotated? Shawbills. You need your oil changed? Shawbills. Brakes are squeaking? Shawbills. You get the picture. Bumper-to-bumper auto service and name brand tires at wholesale prices. 53 years and counting. Shawbills. Find the location nearest you at ShawbillsTire.com. Shawbills, where we keep you rolling. All right, we got Taylor back? Okay, cool. All right, let's just jump right into these questions because we got a bajillion of them. You cool?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, sounds perfect. Okay, Brian Ossie says, ask Taylor, how different is Scotch from bourbon or American whiskey? And for someone who's never had Scotch, what would be a good bottle or brand to start with?
So, I mean, it just depends on which region of Scotland that you're getting your Scotch from. Like a Macallan is a Highland Scotch, which is going to be way more mild than, say, a Lefroy, which is an Islay. What I mean by mild is it's going to be less smoky and peaty, and you're going to get more of those American whiskey flavors that you would get from bourbon.
Okay.
So I would stick to Highlands if you're going to start drinking Scotch. Don't go straight into Islays because you're not going to like it.
Travis Lawrence said, asked Taylor, did you get the Hershey Yinling in yet?
I meant to mention that right off the top because I listened to Lee Pine's blog yesterday. That beer is actually really good. I tried it last year for the first time. And we will, I think, just be on the lookout at the end of the week, early next week. It's stores around town should have it.
Okay. Keegan Hayes says, ask Taylor, do you have a favorite fall-time bourbon drink or cocktail that you enjoy?
Man, I enjoy my bourbon 99% of the time on ice or just neat. So I don't really overthink it much with cocktails at my house, at least.
Jeb said the Rendezvous Rye was awesome. Thanks for the suggestion. He said, do either of you have any mezcals that you like? He says he's slowly breaking into tequila.
Yeah, so mezcal is basically tequila, but it's a little different process. They smoke the agave before they distill it, so you get like a scotchy tequila taste from it. Do I have a favorite? If you're going to start off, get something like Casamigos. Mezcal can run up in price pretty high. Casamigos mezcal is in the $65 range, and that's actually a pretty reasonable price for mezcal. Lance
Wilson, will Elmer T. Lee ever become affordable again?
It's very affordable at retail. I mean, it's $60, $70. I think you're asking, will Elmer T. Lee ever be to the point that it's sitting on a shelf? I wish I could answer that question. I doubt it very seriously.
Kayla Roach says, when are we able to start buying tickets for the whiskey raffle? You got an update on the raffle yet?
We looked at a date last week or the week before, and I think it's that December 9th, that Thursday. I think it's around that date, that first or second week of December. I'll have more information next week, but we usually don't start selling until a couple weeks before the raffle. So we will talk about it. It'll be all over social media too.
Rusty Gomez, is Calandro's doing an Elijah Craig barrel proof pick?
Yes, I answered. Somebody asked that last week. Yes, we are. I don't know when it's coming, but we picked it about a month ago, so I would expect it before the end of the year.
It's a barrel proof, huh?
It's barrel proof. It's not regular Elijah Craig 94. They're doing barrel proof picks, which I am super excited about. Between that and our Four Roses barrel we have coming before the end of the year, hopefully, it's going to be awesome barrels.
What's the retail going to run on the barrel proof? It's going to run around $80, $90?
I would assume it's going to be pretty much in line with the regular barrel proof that you see.
Okay.
But I haven't heard yet, no.
Okay. CJ Fontenot asked Taylor, do you know when you'll be getting Crown XR in stock?
I have no earthly idea on Crown XR. I heard they were switching distilleries where they were sourcing that from. That's the last I heard. That was about 2 years ago, so I really don't know.
Adam Whidden said, Taylor, how do you stay abreast with all the new bourbons coming out? Said I'm moderately into whiskey and see a new label every week or two.
It's very hard because it's not just whiskey. It's literally almost every alcohol that we have to keep up with. It's very difficult. That's why I don't know the answers to all of these questions all the time.
Yeah.
It's my job though, so it's like Matt keeping up with sports. It's my job. So.
Well, there's a difference between having deep knowledge and wide knowledge. Like I have to have deep knowledge of like LSU and Saints and a surface level knowledge of like SEC and the rest of college football. Like if you are a national college football guy, you got to know you have to know surface level of everything. Right.
That's very well put, and that kind of explains it very well to people too.
Yeah. Miller Hilliard says, "Is Calandro's getting any Michter's toasted barrel? And if you do, I want one. By the way."
I don't know, man. We'll see. We haven't yet this year, but usually this is about the time of year when it hits, and that'll be a raffle bottle for sure.
Okay. Jake Stockinger, does Taylor have a Macallan 25 in the back?
Hey, what's up, Jake? I know Jake. No, we do not. We tried to get Macallan 25 from our distributor a couple years ago, but it's priced up abnormally high from them, so we have not bid on one yet.
Let's see. Is it acceptable to start drinking whiskey today for an 8 o'clock kickoff on Saturday? That's from Steven Simino.
Oh, man. I would say yes. We had to put down a dog on Monday, so I'm definitely thinking about drinking whiskey every single day leading up to Saturday.
We're under a minute. Cola Cock. Thank God Terrio's not here. If you had to pick a bourbon that best embodies you as a person, what would it be and why?
If I had to pick, oh, my God. That is such a hard question. I have no clue.
You just have to be creative to answer something like that. It's all
I
good.
know. That is such a hard question. I don't know. I'll think about that and answer it next week.
He's Taylor Calandro, Wine and Spirits Director from Calandro's 2 locations in Baton Rouge. This is Bourbon Dictionary. We do it every Whiskey Wednesday. We appreciate you, man. We'll do it again next week.
All right, man. Thanks.
Thanks. We appreciate it. Of course, next week is Kentucky week, so a lot of people are going to have Kentucky Bourbon Tour questions, so we'll get to that. All right, hour 2 coming up right after Sports Center.
AFR.
HUDCO Roofing, HUDCOroofing.com. Do business with someone you know, and what I really, really want to stress is patience. Not just for HUDCO, but for not only all roofers, all contractors right now. Getting over Ida, moving through this is a process for everyone. We're all doing our best to get to you, and we're going to get to you just as soon as we can. So be patient, be safe, and be diligent. Do business with someone you know. HUDCO Roofing, HUDCOroofing.com.
HUDCO Roofing, HUDCO Roofing. When you need a roof, call someone you know. Moscona, Ontario. All you need is HUDCO. HUDCO Roofing, HUDCO Roofing. Call HUDCO Roofing. 364-1007. Roofing, HUDCO Roofing.
In most cases, you'll never get more for your trade-in than right now at Corval Toyota in Opelousas. Now's your chance to upgrade. You can pre-order your new Toyota today or choose one of our pre-owned vehicles and we'll buy back your current vehicle at a price that will absolutely amaze you. You can walk away with more money in your pocket than you ever thought possible. At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, that's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
And our topic today is about savings. What is savings?
Hancock Whitney isn't just a bank for our clients. We're investing in our hometowns, making life better for everyone. So keep dreaming. We've got your back.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million-mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. Need repair? Our service department is ready and available to help you today. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Front to Back Boat Service has been family owned and operated for 30 years. And the Sherman family is NMEA certified. That's the National Marine Electronics Association at Front to Back. They are committed to improving the safety and technology of marine electronics through installer training, interface standards. And look, the fall and the winter, it's the perfect time to do that yearly maintenance you've been putting off. Get those parts you've been wanting. So schedule your appointment today at Front to Back North Airway off of Airline Highway.
Hand Injury Lawyers.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Plenty of praise today from Patriots coach Bill Belichick for Tom Brady ahead of the return of the Buccaneers quarterback to Foxborough on Sunday night. Brady's a great player, works hard, and nothing he does is a surprise, according to Belichick.
It's as tough as any quarterback there is or ever has been. I mean, enough said. His numbers are incredible. He's about to pass the all-time passing record. He's done more than any other player at that position. In whatever measurement you want to take, whether it's yards, completions, touchdowns, championships.
Patriots coach Bill Belichick, veteran cornerback Richard Sherman signing with the Buccaneers. One-year deal, reports ESPN's Adam Schefter. Sherman says he needs a week to prepare to get ready to play in a game. NBA announced players who don't follow local vaccination mandates won't be paid for missing games this season. New York and San Francisco currently have a vaccine requirement impacting the Nets, Knicks, and Warriors. Georgia quarterback JT Daniels has a lat muscle injury. He is expected, though, to play Saturday when the second-ranked Bulldogs face number 8 Arkansas. Much more on these stories coming up on the 6 Eastern Sports Center on ESPN TV.
Want to look like $1 million? Upgrade to a Dollar Shave Club 6-blade razor for a noticeably smooth shave thanks to their 6 precision-cut stainless steel blades. Find your perfect shave with Dollar Shave Club stores. Yep, that's Dollar Shave Club in store. So go to the store and find them.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
I appreciate it, bud. Have a good one.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Musa. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Bottom of this hour, a little overrated, underrated. The Bucs have added a veteran defensive back. We'll get to that. Saints injury report has been announced. By the way, in a little more than an hour from right now, former LSU and current Auburn quarterback TJ Finley. So 5:15 Central, we'll chat with the Auburn quarterback about his comeback, leading the game-winning drive last week against Georgia State, what the week's like, coming home, all that good stuff. So TJ Finley next hour with us here on AFR. Ed Ogeron on the SEC Coaches Teleconference today did update the status of several players. If you were not here an hour ago as we opened the show, the news is that John Emery had his waiver request denied by the NCAA. So he remains ineligible. Attorney Don Jackson says they will continue to pursue other avenues to get John Emery eligible, but as of now, remains ineligible for the season. So who might be there? Derek Stingley, of course, was not available for LSU this last week against Mississippi State. He was in Starkville, as you noticed, with a walking boot on his foot. It was a foot injury that he suffered in camp that he re-aggravated the week of the Mississippi State game. Ed Ogeron gave an update here on Stingley.
I think he's in the process of seeing a doctor this week. Maybe seeing a doctor. He's seen a doctor today. He flew out of town to see a doctor. So we haven't had any results. We haven't heard anything. But I think he's in the process of seeing a doctor today.
So he's seen a doctor today. Ed Ogeron said there multiple times. Listen, I get it. Derek Stingley is, it's almost October. So you get through October, November, December, January, February, March. It's safe to say you're 6 months away, even less than 6 months away from extreme riches. Because as soon as his college career is over, I mean, he could sign endorsement deals now if he wanted to. But he is 6 months away from being a top 5 pick in the draft, potentially the first defensive player in the draft. And I know that as fans, we want student athletes to be all in and rah-rah for Old State U and all that sort of stuff, and I get it. But so much of the game has changed. And when you're talking about the embarrassment of riches that's heaped upon these elite athletes, life-changing, transformational, generational type money, you have to take that opportunity seriously. You would do the same, I would do the same, and he needs to do the same as well. So, if and or when Derek Stingley returns this year, great. If not, I'm so glad he was here in 2019 because he was a major part of the greatest season we've ever seen. So, I mean, if Derek Stingley were my kid, and he's not, and I'll never be in the situation that Derek Sr. is in right now. But if that were my son, I would say you have got to do your due diligence here to get healthy. You cannot jeopardize your future by rushing back out onto the field. You've got to take your time and get healthy. And if that moment comes before the season's over and he wants to get out there and play with his teammates, awesome. And if not, okay. But we'll have to wait and see. But Derek Stingley is going to see a specialist. So we'll see. It doesn't appear that he's going to be able to play this week against Auburn, which honestly, I'll never argue that you're better without the best cover corner in college football. But this is one of those weeks in particular where LSU probably could manage. Auburn is a dynamic rushing offense. They average 257 rush yards a game. The problem Auburn has, they're sort of like the image flip of LSU, which can't run the ball but is really effective throwing it. Great athletes on the outside, effective in the passing game. Auburn is the opposite of that. Auburn is a team that runs it really effectively and has really struggled. I mean, they fired their wide receiver coach 4 games into the season. If you're LSU, I think you feel comfortable putting numbers in the box to commit to the run, and you trust Elias Ricks, and you trust Dwight McGlothern, and you trust Cordell Flott, and you say, guys, make it happen on the outside. And you're probably going to win more of those than you lose. Auburn right now as a passing offense, throws it for about 227 a game. It's not bad. It's not bad. But you also have to keep in mind how much of that chunk yardage came against Akron and Alabama State. What you saw against Penn State is more likely what Auburn is, a team that scored 20 points and is really effective running the football. So I think this week you can manage without Derek Stingley. They did get some good news because a couple of guys, and Jontre Kirkland and Sony Fanu, look like they're going to be back this week.
Yeah, Jontre Kirkland and Sony Fanu are both eligible this week to play, which we're very happy. I'm very complimentary of both of those young men. They've practiced hard the last 4 weeks, and they're eligible. They're ready to play, and I'm excited about that.
I don't know where either fits in, because if we are legitimately looking at Jontre Kirkland in this receiver room right now, we all know number one is Kayshon Boutte, and that's not even a question. But Jack Besh is your second leading receiver at 167 yards. Deion Smith is your third leading receiver Jack is at 168. Deion's at 167. Trey Palmer, who hasn't played the past couple of games, at 135. We forget Trey Palmer is second in receptions still, despite missing a couple of games. Brian Thomas has 111 yards. I mean, you have 5 pass catchers already over 100 receiving yards in the season. And that's before we even get Decoy Moore and Cole Taylor and Jahri Jenkins and Devontae Lee. I mean, and Malik Neighbors, who missed a couple of games. I don't know. I'm not saying Jontre Kirkland won't play, but he's going to have to wait his turn to get out on the field. And as for Sony Fanu, of course, playing D-end, maybe with, I would say, with Mason Smith kicking out, maybe this is a luxury for Mason Smith to be able to play more, interior defensive tackle if Sony Fanu can play end opposite B.J. Ojulari. It gives you another body in the rotation. Jarrell Cherry ended up playing a lot this past week, but when Ali Gay left but did return. It gives you another body. It gives you someone who can go take snaps, but I don't know how many reps Sony Fanu gets this week. The other player that Ogeron discussed was Glenn Logan, who, of course, has the foot injury that he suffered in fall camp and was supposed to be, about a 6 to 8 week injury. And They thought maybe he'd be back by now, but here was Ed Ogeron giving an update.
We think that Glenn Logan is perhaps going to do a couple of more things next week. I don't know if he's going to be ready. I was a little premature. I thought he was going to be ready, but the trainer says it's going to take a little while longer. But next week, I think he better practice a little bit. I don't know if he better play.
You'd love to have him against Kentucky. That Kentucky offense with a couple of really dynamic running backs. You'd love to have all hands on deck in that defensive front seven next week, as you would this week. It's obviously not realistic this week, but what you have coming ahead now with Auburn and then the road trip to Kentucky, you're home against Florida, you're at Ole Miss. This stretch here in October is, like we've said, this October is going to determine for what LSU is playing in the month of November, if anything. So you'd love to have all hands on deck, and you got a couple of players back, and we'll see about the others that they're still waiting on. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Pluckers, title sponsor of our Hump Day shows all throughout the year. Great spot to get by, watch the game, eat some wings, drink some beer. Pluckers, like our wings. We'll give you the bird. All right, let me knock out a quick break. The Saints injury report, the first injury report of the week, has been released. And I'll remind you that when we saw the first injury report before the Carolina game was when I went, And when we saw the first injury report before the Patriots game was when I went, ooh. This is very telling about the state of this team coming back home to play the Giants this week. We'll get into that when we come back. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by River Cities, 1 hour air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. I heard so many people after the flood of 2016 who had to replace their home central AC. They made a giant mistake. They hired a non-reputable fly-by-night company who said that they could come in and do the job quickly and get that AC installed. And what happened, unfortunately, is they had a poor installation, and a couple of months later, River City's 1 hour air had to come rip out that AC and do a second install. Don't let that happen. If you need to replace your AC after Ida, call River City's 1 hour air first. Trusted technicians with the latest technology and practices that are guaranteed to do the job right the first time. So your home central AC will last. River City's 1 hour air. 752-0001, 752-0001.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. Need repair? Our service department is ready and available to help you today. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Tonight, we invite you to celebrate life, wherever and whenever you can, understanding that time is never on our side. Instead, gather up your friends tonight and share a few stories and laughs over a good bottle of wine. Or maybe a family meal that gives everyone a chance to reconnect and remember what's really important, whether it's for a birthday, an anniversary, or simply to remind someone special that they are loved. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Rolling along, glad you're with us here. The Chicago Bears could be leaving Soldier Field. See this news? They've announced they've signed a $197.2 million purchase and sale agreement with Churchill Downs, Inc. for a 326-acre Arlington Park property. So that's suburban property outside of Chicago. So the Bears have played Soldier Field since 1971. I thought it was longer than that, but they've been at Soldier Field since 1971. It is the smallest capacity venue in the NFL. Just 61,500 fans is the capacity. Soldier Field back in 2001 underwent a $690 million renovation. It's weird if you've ever been or if you've seen on TV. They kept the structure, which are sort of the column, the square column structure, and then they kind of gutted it and then built what looks like a spaceship just coming out from that column structure. One of the worst experiences I've ever had in my life as a fan is there for the 2006 season, the January 2007 NFC Championship game where the Bears beat the Saints in the snow. Fans were miserable, just generally awful experience altogether. But, hey, look, for anyone who says they can't tear down Soldier Field, they tore down Yankee Stadium. There is no venue that is sacred, and every venue will be torn down. If they can tear down Yankee Stadium, they can tear down Soldier Field, and they can tear down every other venue that's there. And it'll happen to all of them. So, looks like Soldier Field might be next. For what it's worth, the Bears do still have a lease that with the city that runs through 2033. So it doesn't look like it's going to be anytime soon, but the Bears have acquired the land for what looks like it'll be their new stadium, which about a decade out, obviously, but they've acquired the land. They'll have to go through all the planning for it, permitting, and then actual building of it. But Bears, looks like another decade or so, and they will be out of Soldier Field. It's after further review. Glad to have you aboard with us here. Wednesday is the day that the NFL mandates teams release their first injury report of the week, and the week of the New England game. The week of the Carolina game. On Wednesday, when we saw the first injury report, is when I went, uh-oh. Saints had that great win over the Packers, picked them to win that game, and then, a lot of people were jumping on the bandwagon for New Orleans after that win and picking them to beat Carolina, said pump the brakes because you can't lose 5 starters week to week and not miss a beat in the NFL. And then on top of that, we learned 8 coaches with COVID, all that sort of stuff. So that injury report, as extensive as it was a problem for the Saints in Carolina. You can't run out there with a preseason roster and think you're going to compete on a Sunday in the NFL. Last week, Saints got healthier. You had Lattimore back. You had CJ Gardner-Johnson back. You had Tano Passanio back. We talked about it. The first defensive series, CJ Gardner-Johnson had a sack. Tano Passanio had a pressure. Lattimore had a pass defended. I mean, it was evident right there. And the Saints continue getting healthier, which is just massively beneficial. Remember, week 3, if you go on IR, you're mandated you miss 3 weeks. So this is the week heading into week 4 where those that started the season on IR are eligible to return. And we did learn today that Will Clapp was back at practice. So that's one player that started the season on IR that returned to practice today. We're still waiting on others, like Will Lutz, who's probably not ready this week. Waiting on Traquan Smith. No word there yet as well. But as for the injury report today, you only had 2 players that did not practice. And they were the two offensive linemen that are critical. It's your starting center, Eric McCoy, and your starting left tackle, Teron Armstead, but we kind of have a feeling both of those guys are not going to be available. Now, we're holding our breath and knocking on wood and holding out hope for Eric McCoy because they did not send him to IR, which means he is eligible to return before the 3 weeks that's mandated by IR. So it's been 2, which means he could return this week. That's certainly not guaranteed, but that is a possibility. But McCoy did not practice today with that calf injury, so to be determined. And we know Teron Armstead is going to miss a couple of weeks. So the Saints will go into this week very likely with James Hurst at left tackle and Cesar Ruiz at center and Calvin Throckmorton at right guard. Yes, there's no way to say it. I mean, you're not as good at left tackle with Hurst as you would be with Armstead. You're not as good at center with Ruiz as you would be with McCoy, and you're not as good at right guard with Throckmorton as you would be with Ruiz. I mean, you're weaker in 3 spots on that line. There's no way around it. The good news is you're playing an awful football team in the Giants, and you have this enormous emotional homecoming staring you in the face where for the first time in more than a year, the Superdome will be at capacity. It's the first time in the Dome post-Ida, the first true home game of the year. The team's 2-1, coming off a big emotional win. Fans are going to be there. They're going to be loud. They're going to be into it. They're going to pump. They're going to be pumped. They're going to affect the game. And this is just an amazing matchup for New Orleans because the Giants just aren't very good. The one thing that they kind of do well is run the ball with Saquon Barkley, but the Saints have the 3rd best rush defense in the NFL. They allow 60 rushing yards a game. So this is a matchup problem for the Giants, even with the Saints missing a couple of offensive linemen for this ballgame, but getting healthier. The other 2 players on the injury report were Marshawn Lattimore and Jameis Winston, but both participated fully. They listed Lattimore with the hand injury, obviously, and Jameis with a knee injury, but again, both did participate fully in practice. So the Saints are getting healthier, which is the thing you want to see, and we'll keep an eye throughout this week on the Saints to see who else from IR might be able to return here this week for New Orleans. Now, with respect to the Giants, that is a much different story because the Giants injury report looks a lot like the Saints injury report did a couple of weeks ago. It is extensive, and if you're watching, I'll show it to you here. Forgive me, this is a screen grab, actually just a photo that Luke Johnson took and posted. So forgive me that the quality of the image isn't better, but I'll show it to you here, courtesy of Luke Johnson on Twitter. But you'll see the length of this injury report and why it's significant. And by the way, the Giants did not practice today; they just had a walkthrough. So this would have been a theoretical participation report. But you're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You have 12 Giants on their injury report today. 4 of whom did not participate, 8 of whom who were limited, including Saquon Barkley, Kenny Golladay, Logan Ryan, Caden Smith, their tight end. It is a long, long list. And Ben Bredesen, one of their offensive linemen, Blake Martinez, their linebacker, Sterling Shepard, the wide receiver, and Darius Slayton, the wide receiver, the 4 that did not participate. So the Giants are in a complete role reversal from where New Orleans was 2 weeks ago. The Giants have a lengthy injury report and already at a disadvantage and going on the road. New Orleans getting healthier, playing well, coming home. There's a lot of reasons why I like New Orleans this week. And that's one of them. One of many. But we will keep an eye on the injury report as we go through the week, and I'll be very interested to see what players on IR return for New Orleans. We'll keep you posted as we move through the week, but all trending in the right direction. All right, it's After Further Review, brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, door, siding, Relief Windows, and ReliefWindows.com. 288-8138. You can call them, 288-8138, or you can log on to ReliefWindows.com. If you had damage from Ida, windows, doors, or siding, you can trust Relief Windows to do the job right the first time. And remember, with Relief Windows, their windows come with a lifetime warranty on labor, material, and glass breakage. So if a storm comes and you need windows replaced, boom, Relief Windows does it for free. Buy windows once, be done forever with Relief Windows. ReliefWindows.com, ReliefWindows.com. We will do overrated, underrated here in less than 10 minutes. Tigers and the Pros later this hour. TJ Finley, less than 1 hour from right now, 5:15 Central. Auburn quarterback TJ Finley. A familiar face is headed to the NFC South. Richard Sherman has signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If you didn't see this news earlier today, Richard Sherman on his podcast said that he had offers from the 49ers, the Seahawks, and the Panthers, or at least that expressed interest. And on his podcast, he said he signed a 1-year deal with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So the Bucs themselves, they're in a little bit of a tight spot, Tampa is, with Sean Murphy Bunting, who was placed on IR with a dislocated right elbow. And then Jamel Dean, their third cornerback, left the game Sunday against the Rams with a knee injury in the first quarter and did not return. So Tampa's been a little thin at cornerback. So they signed Richard Sherman, 33 years old, and obviously has a legal issue as well that's pending. One of the reasons primarily why you think the Saints and other teams might have cooled on Sherman. But according to Jenna Lane from ESPN, the Bucs did, I'm reading here directly, the Bucs did their due diligence on Sherman's legal situation and believe he has the necessary support systems in place. So for what that's worth. Sherman also said that Tom Brady reached out to him to join the team. And if Tom Brady calls, I guess you just sort of listen. But, I am hopeful that somewhere along the way, Tampa slips up and drops the game. I'd love to think they're vulnerable, but really I just think they went on the road and lost to a good team in the Rams. But when I look at what they have ahead, it's hard to see. It's the NFL, and there's the any given Sunday thing. But this week, they're in New England, in what's going to be a very emotional game on Sunday Night Football, as we know. Tampa's a 7-point road favorite. Did you ever think you'd see the day that the New England Patriots would be a touchdown home underdog? It's amazing. But they are. After New England, Tampa plays Miami, at Philly, Chicago, and then at New Orleans. If you're thinking that teams might be able to take advantage of this Buccaneers secondary that's injured and now is calling upon a 33-year-old Richard Sherman to help supplement, New England, here's the pass offense ranks of Tampa's next 5 opponents. New England, 20th in the NFL in passing offense. Miami, 29th in passing offense. Philly's 15th. The Bears are dead last. And the Saints are 31st. Did you ever think you'd see the Saints 31st in the NFL in passing offense? So 20th, 29th, 15th, 32nd, and 31st passing offenses in the NFL. That's what Tampa's got the next 5 weeks. Suffice to say, you could probably get Musso at about 425 out there in the secondary for Tampa Bay against those passing offenses, and might do just fine. 426, when do you really start to feel it, Muse? More like 430? How long does it take for you to...
No, I'm good all the time, actually, yeah. Think so.
All the time?
Oh, yeah, man.
It's that big of a problem?
No, I'm fine. I never feel drowsy or anything because I don't do that. But thanks for asking.
It's 428 right now.
And I'm totally, isn't this weird? It's like nothing's different.
Todd Peterson. Look at the delay.
Ted Peterson.
Paul,
had the fader down.
Did you hear how long the delay was, Paul?
Cricket.
I mean, things just don't fire.
When you have to reach for the mouse still, there's a little bit of, didn't have the hand on the mouse there. Yeah.
Okay. Didn't have the hand on the mouse because you had the hand on the roach. Am I right?
No.
Am I right?
No, my other hand was on a pen, actually. This ink pen.
You get it? The mouse, the roach.
No.
Got it.
No.
All right. We'll do overrated, underrated. TJ Finley in 45 minutes. Stay here.
AFR.
HancockWhitney.com. HancockWhitney.com. You can walk into a financial center near you, or find the financial center nearest you, or you can do your banking online at HancockWhitney.com. At Hancock Whitney, for more than 120 years, Their mantra has been your dreams, our mission. That's Hancock Whitney. Whatever that dream may be, if it's owning a home, maybe it's planning that dream vacation, maybe it's planning to send your kids to college, or maybe post-Hurricane Ida, that dream is rebuilding your business, rebuilding your home, whatever it may be. Hancock Whitney makes that happen. They make your dreams our mission. So walk into a financial center near you or log on to HancockWhitney.com and see how Hancock Whitney, for more than a century, has helped people along the Gulf Coast make their dreams a reality. Hancock Whitney Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. All loans and accounts subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions apply. HancockWhitney.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
2021 has come with its fair share of challenges, but 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Citizens Bank and Trust want to make things a little easier on your budget by making your groceries for an entire year a $4,800 value. And even if you don't win the grand prize, we're awarding the second place.
Is that grocery for your mama and them?
Yes, Matt.
You get it?
Yeah, I get it.
Your mama and them.
And even if you don't win the grand prize, we're awarding second chance prizes of $150 gift cards to High Neighbor Supermarkets. It's the free groceries for a year sweepstakes. Powered by Citizens Bank and Trust. Hi, neighbor. 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. Register now at 1045ESPN.com and get groceries for your mama and them.
Do you get it?
Yeah, I get it.
Do you want to explain? Because you can't
well, that's why I was like, why did you do that in the middle of the read?
Well, we would come back and explain.
Yeah.
The one of the key rules about talk radio is you should never have an inside joke from your audience. This is the thing that I love the most about talk radio is that it is the most intimate medium there is. Period. There's nothing like it. It's not like print media where you're reading something, or if TV, which at times can be sterile. Talk radio is just like you and me having a conversation. So you should never have an inside joke. But so explain.
Yeah, okay. Well, so we have a shorter version kind of that read that just airs as a commercial.
Yeah.
But we got Big Voice Guy to cut it. BC cut it for us. So it's
it's Brian C.
That's why I just always call him BC.
Yeah, no, I don't know his last name.
I know his first name is Brian.
Can you play something from BC? Just whatever you have.
Yeah,
just
sure.
Anything that has his voice on it. It's the guy who does all the imaging for our station.
That was a bed.
That's
Darn
not
it.
it.
All right, hold on. Well, I mean, yeah, it was what we just here.
The Riot Radio Hour with Ryan Terrio.
Yeah, that guy is Brian
something
C.
Yeah.
BC.
Yeah, right.
So
right.
that's
So
BC he lives like somewhere in the Midwest.
Yeah.
And he images all the stuff for the station.
And I mean, look, it's that great, like, deep robotic voice or whatever.
Yes.
And it's just, they tried to add a little local flavor with the
Your mama
phrase
and them.
"your mama and them." And
No, it's your mom and them.
yeah, right.
It should have been your mom and them.
Yeah.
And he apparently didn't understand your mom and them. And so he said, get groceries for your mama and them.
And it's
like,
just,
no, that's not.
It's really funny.
It's not what that's like saying Moscona, which you've done for 11 years, Brian, BC.
Except for the Thursday rejoin.
I know, that's so
He
weird.
nailed-
the
he
one.
nailed the Thursday
He got
rejoin.
it.
Nailed it.
He got it. All right, let's do overrated, underrated.
Okay, overrated or underrated. Today, we begin with...
You want to explain what this is, Muse?
Oh, yeah, we've been doing this for a while. I think they know. Well,
I don't
anyway,
think everybody
okay,
knows. You can't
okay.
make the assumption that's something we've been doing for, I think, 4 weeks. Everyone knows.
I have a list of topics here on my phone. I will throw them out one by one to Matt. Ask him, are they overrated or underrated? He will give his opinion and his reasoning behind said opinion. For example, kind of a learn-as-you-go thing if you're listening. You'll understand
Why
more
don't
as
you
we
ask
go.
Denny who was puffing the Magic Dragon?
Yeah. Bet you would pin him all red. Overrated or underrated pretzels?
All right, I have a question.
Crunchy pretzels you get out of a bag.
Oh.
So don't give your opinion on a warm pretzel because we might come back to that. So just the crunchy pretzels you get out of the bag.
Overrated. They make my mouth way too dry. There are a bajillion better options. I don't know why people like... There are even better pretzel options. I don't know why people like those.
Thank you. Good job. Overrated or underrated?
But I love the warm pretzel that you can get like in the mall that's in the burner. It's soft and chewy, and the big chunks of salt on them are fantastic, and that you can get the contrast, and that's wonderful.
You're the worst. Overrated or underrated? The World's Strongest Man competition.
The World's Strongest Man competition is underrated because the fact that something so stupid actually has you asking me about it, and people know people like Magnus for Magasin.
Yeah.
Because he can pull a semi with a rope or hold gigantic balls of steel and put them on a platform, which has no functional purpose whatsoever, but we know who these people are thanks to ESPN. It makes it underrated, the World's Strongest Man competition. I think it's very stupid, but it's underrated because so many people know about it. Don't appreciate it.
It was one of the best things to watch if you were like up late and couldn't sleep like 2:30.
Well, this also, Muse, goes back to something we were talking about in the break when there was something called cable that everybody had. Just cable. And I was explaining to young Muse that there was a...
I didn't grow up with cable.
I didn't get to finish the story I was telling you.
Story time with Uncle Stone did not finish.
Which is like when I was a kid and you'd wake up in the summer, you would watch SportsCenter.
Yeah.
But it would just re-air.
Over and over.
And you'd watch the same SportsCenter over and over and over and over again. Well, you'd also have the same commercials a lot of times. And one of the local commercials was Diesel Driving Academy. which was, and it had a jingle that everyone who, Paul, do you remember Diesel Driving Academy jingle?
I do.
See, Paul, do it with me, Paul. You ready? You ready? When you can drive a truck.
You go.
I'm not thinking.
You got a job, my friend. What's the next line? Diesel Driving Academy.
I think I still remember the phone number.
We'll teach you all you need to know. Get ready. Call
1-800-551-8900.
Oh, that man.
You see what I mean? Diesel Driving Academy. Anyway, I brought that up, and that's a 30-year-old jingle that Paul and I still remember. Well, the new HUDCO jingle, which we played last hour, there is a Diesel Driving Academy Easter egg in that jingle that Mr. Toby Tomplay threw in there.
Oh.
Listen to, maybe we'll play the jingle again and see if people can find it.
Okay. Overrated or underrated? Kevin Costner.
Overrated.
Wow.
Horribly overrated.
Oh, that's a terrible opinion. But
Horribly
continue.
overrated. Good actor. Really good actor.
Very, extremely good actor.
But he's not versatile.
Very versatile. What are you talking about?
Not versatile.
Comedy.
He's the same guy in every movie. Same guy. He's Ray Kinsella in every movie.
He's not Ray Kinsella in every movie.
Yeah. Same guy in every movie. Overrated.
Wow.
I'm not saying he's bad. That
kind of sounds like you're saying he's, kind of sounds like you're saying he's bad.
Overrated doesn't mean bad. It just means you're overrated. That's all. Doesn't mean you're bad. It just means you're not as good as people think you are.
So you're bad.
No, you can still be elite. If someone thinks you're top 10 all time, but you're top 50 all time, you're still all-time elite. You're just not the greatest ever. Okay. He's overrated.
Overrated or underrated? Buffalo sauce.
I hate to say this, but buffalo sauce is overrated because we have the appreciation because it's the standard, right? It's the starting point. But how many times, like when I go to Pluckers, I never order buffalo sauce. I love spicy ranch. I love garlic parm.
Really good.
I love the Gold Rush.
Very good.
I love teriyaki. I love Baker's Gold. I could go through 10 sauces before I get to Buffalo Medium, which is the one that I like at Pluckers.
There's just something about it every now and then. Just a good buffalo sauce.
Again, it's not bad.
Right? No.
It's just overrated.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
Like if you're preseason top 5, you're Iowa State. They got you in the top 10 in the preseason. Oh, they're so high on your little quarterback guy and the tight end and all the people you have coming back. And Scone tried to tell you they're not that good. Like, I don't care that they beat, or that, like ULL beat them last year. It was like ULL out-athleted Iowa State. Like, they're going to lose games. They're not that good. They went to Iowa. Actually, Iowa went to them and pimp slapped them. Yeah. That doesn't mean they're a bad team, Muse. It just means they were overrated. They're a very good team. They're a solid team. Good quarterback. Good play. All that. They're just overrated. That's all buffalo sauce. It's fair. There's times I want buffalo sauce. There's times I love getting a cold buffalo chicken wing. You know what I mean? Like, go get a little 10 of them right out of the fridge and just eat without even heating them up.
Is buffalo sauce better cold? I kind of think it is. Now that you brought that point up, I kind of think it's better cold.
So I'm weird in this way. I'm weird in a lot of ways, but I'm weird in this way.
Yeah?
No, admittedly. I'm weird in this way, Muse. I don't like reheating food.
Like
because
any food.
Whenever you put food in the microwave, it changes the chemical composition of the food, so it changes the taste. And I would rather the original taste and cold than hot and altering the taste. How about that?
That's interesting. I think there's certain foods that I really like to eat cold, but some of them I like to heat up too.
Like pizza?
Oh, cold pizza is the goat.
If you put pizza in the microwave, it never tastes as good. Yeah. I would rather cold pizza than pizza in the microwave.
Cold pizza is the goat cold food ever. Chicken wings is also very good. That's why I was asking about buffalo.
Very close, yeah.
Last one here. Overrated or underrated, a golf scramble?
I'm going to say a golf scramble is underrated. I think people who are golf purists maybe don't appreciate a golf scramble. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
And the thing that sometimes is off-putting for people when they play golf is you're going to struggle in golf.
Yep.
And people don't get frustrated. They like to chase the ball, and it slows you down. And the scramble, just hit and go. Just go to the best one play. Just it keeps the pace going. And so it makes average people more appreciative and have a good time. Even if you suck, it doesn't matter, man. Guess what? You're going to be on the green because everybody's on the green. You're going to putt because everybody's putting. Golf scramble's underrated. It's very underrated.
That's this week's edition of Overrated or Underrated.
This is Tigers. This is AFR, brought to you by Pluckers, Tigers, and the pros to wrap up the hour. Coming up in 30 minutes from this very moment, TJ Finley on AFR. Stay here.
AFR.
If you need dinner plans tonight, you know what's always hot and amazing? Boru Ramen in Electric Depot on Government Street. Ichiban, Essen near Perkins, voted by you the best sushi and best hibachi in the Best of 225 awards. Find your favorite specialty roll, award-winning hibachi. It's Wednesday, which means it's the perfect night. Why is this the perfect night? I don't know, because it's Wednesday. Live your life and go enjoy it. Get the Ichiban and make a night of it. And if you want to try something new, you want to experience Mid-City and all that it has to offer, go check out Boru Ramen in Electric Depot on Government Street. From the people that brought you Ichiban, their latest concept is Boru Ramen. This is authentic Japanese ramen. I'm telling you, I've had literally everything on the menu. Before they opened, I went in and I sampled everything on the menu. It's all decadent and divine. My favorite is the Rouge. Got a little spice to it. Try it. It's at Boru Ramen. All-weather indoor and outdoor patio dining. Authentic Japanese ramen. It is Boru Ramen on Government Street.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. Need repair? Our service department is ready and available to help you today. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Our topic today is about savings. What is savings?
Hancock Whitney isn't just a bank for our clients. We're investing in our hometowns, making life better for everyone. So keep dreaming. We've got your back.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Front to Back Boat Service has been family-owned and operated for 30 years. And the Sherman family is NMEA certified. That's the National Marine Electronics Association at Front to Back. They are committed to improving the safety and technology of marine electronics through installer training, interface standards. And look, the fall and the winter, it's the perfect time to do that yearly maintenance you've been putting off. Get those parts you've been wanting. So schedule your appointment today at Front to Back North Airway off of Airline Highway.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Wrapping up hour number 2, TJ Finley in 25 minutes from right now. But right now, Muso has Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Kentucky's Best Hemp. Find them online at kysbesthemp.com.
Just 5 days remain in Major League Baseball's regular season. Plenty of playoff chases that are happening and plenty of LSU Tigers that are right in the thick, former LSU Tigers, that are right in the thick of those. Start with DJ LeMahieu last night. No, he did not go there. 1 for 4.
But he went to a brother school.
Yes, but it was
like
brother.
Catholic
It was
High.
Brother Rice High School, and it was in Michigan.
It's a brother school.
Thousands of miles away from Catholic High.
Brothers.
They're not even from the same order.
We're brothers.
It's not. It doesn't count.
We are all brothers in Christ.
I mean, yes, all of us, yes, but
including DJ LeMahieu. Calici.
Right.
Calici.
No.
Calici.
1 for 4 with a single, a walk, and 2 runs scored last night for DJ. 269 average so far on the year.
The Red Sox have lost 4 in a row.
10 homers and 57 runs batted in for DJ LeMahieu. Alex Bregman last night, 1 for 4.
Yankees have won 7 in a row.
Alex Bregman last night, 1 for 4 with a home run. That was his 12th of the year. Also struck out twice, unfortunately.
Are you nervous?
I don't know what you're even asking me, Matt.
Are you nervous?
I'm trying to do about what? I'm trying to do this segment.
About Boston.
What about Boston, Matt?
Because they're at the point now where
they're in the second wild card spot.
But they're only a game ahead of Toronto. And Toronto probably is going to sneak up and nab it.
Toronto lost last night to the Yankees.
I know, and the Yankees have won 7 in a row.
Oh, yeah, that's great. I mean, they won 13 in a row earlier this year, and then they followed that up by losing 7 in a row.
I already beat Max Willie, so I'm good.
There you go. Shout out, man. Yeah, how about that?
We're going to talk about that. We're going to call him on Friday. And make
fun
of
okay. Yeah,
and he's going to bring me booze.
Yeah, okay. What kind? What are you getting?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, it's a surprise.
It's just got to be really expensive. That's the rule.
You're just gonna let anyone surprise you with any kind of whiskey.
It's just got to be really expensive.
Okay. So no, Matt, I'm not nervous. Did last night's game make me very angry? Yes, but you have 5 left. The schedule still shakes out nice. See you in the wild card game. That's your favorite. It's your favorite game of the year. See you there.
Orioles, and you're like, we have the weakest remaining schedule.
They do.
Lose. Oh,
no, they'll win tonight. They'll win tomorrow. And they'll sweep the Nationals. Move on. Still just 1 of 162. Anyway, Alex Bregman was 1 for 4 last night with his 12th home run of the season. Did strike out twice. Really wish Bregman wouldn't have had the injuries this year, man, because in the shortened injury season, 283, the 12 homers and 54 RBI. He got off to a really hot start. Dang injury kept him out for a while. He could have been his best average season so far in the bigs, and unfortunately, that might fall short because of all the injuries. Jake Fraley plays for the Seattle Mariners. They're trying to sneak up in that AL wild card race. 1 for 3 was Fraley last night with a double. It was his 7th. Drove in 2 runs as well. Drew a walk. Mariners 4-2 winners over those Oakland Athletics. And finally tonight,
I'm ready.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something about that game.
No, I'm ready.
Finally tonight, we turn our attention to the NL East. The Phillies and the Braves are battling for that division.
Which means who's starting?
Well, they're playing each other tonight, too, Matt. How about that? And on the bump for the Phillies is Aaron Nola. Nola's coming off his 9th victory of the year against 8 losses. Sports an ERA of 4.64 and 174 and 2/3 innings pitched. Aaron Nola has walked 37 and struck out 219. So, Paul, help me out. It's a 2-game lead for the Braves now in the NL East. 2 games? 3 games?
3.5.
Yeah, I think it's like 3.
It's 3.5.
3.5 games.
I'm looking at it right here.
3.5 games.
It's 3.5.
Nola's got to get it done tonight for him, man, if the Phillies want to keep pace.
3.5.
That's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by KYSBestHemp.com. KYSBestHemp.com. Kentucky's Best Hemp. Use the promo code AFR30 to save 30% off your order at Kentucky's Best Hemp. You know what is a super speaking of underrated, Muse, you know what's super underrated? Is their CBD doggy treats. Muso's old dog got some. And Your dog, they had anxiety in the rain, you told me.
Right.
So we gave Muso's doggy some CBD dog treats. Got as high as Muse.
No, because there's no THC in CBD. You go through this every time, Matt. It doesn't get you high. It doesn't get your dog high. It just calms them down. They can make it through the thunderstorm. It's a great product. That KYSBestHemp.com.
Promo code AFR30 to save 30% off. All right, y'all. It's after further review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Jahri Evans was here in hour one if you missed it. Congrats to Jahri, a new electee to the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. That class was announced today. A golf tournament coming up in November at U Club in Baton Rouge. Then the induction in Natchitoches is in June. If you want tickets to either event, you can learn more at lasportshall.com, lasportshall.com. Appreciate Jahri Evans for joining us. If you missed that convo, you can get it on demand at 1045ESPN.com. TJ Finley in 20 minutes from right now. Former LSU and current Auburn quarterback TJ Finley. Talk with us about what this week is like for him coming back to the place where he started his college career. Stick around. AFR after SportsCenter.
AFR.
DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of the NFL, is DraftKings. And we have been so pumped here to tell you about DraftKings and how great of a partner they've been of ours here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and all of our shows. DraftKings is putting all of their new customers right in the center of the action with a free shot at winning millions of dollars in prizes. So here's what you do. It's daily fantasy made easy. Download the DraftKings app. Use the code Baton Rouge. This week, new customers will get a free shot at millions in total prizes, but you have to download the DraftKings app and use the code Baton Rouge, one word, smushed together, Baton Rouge, and get your free shot at millions in prizes with your first deposit. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details. Again, download the DraftKings app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. Again, use the promo code Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. Need repair? Our service department is ready and available to help you today. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Hand injury lawyers.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Right now, the NBA announced players who don't follow local vaccination mandates won't be paid for missed games this season. New York and San Francisco currently have a vaccine requirement that would prevent unvaccinated players from entering arenas, impacting the Nets, Knicks, and Warriors. The Steelers' offense isn't that far off. It's close to getting back on track, according to quarterback Ben Roethlisberger. He insists it's not one big issue for the offense. It's little things like penalties and missed throws. Believes the offense needs to start faster, and that begins with him. The main problem for Pittsburgh is the O-line, explains ESPN Steelers reporter Brooke Pryor.
The issues that Roethlisberger has had, a lot of them stem from that line. It feels like he's not able to go through his progressions, his reads very quickly because of the pressure that's coming on him. And he's been hit so many times in the first 3 weeks that I think it's really affected what he's been able to do.
Brooke Pryor on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Patriots running back James White expected to miss the rest of the season with a hip injury, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter and Field Yates.
We're back on Thursday. The Bucs have added a defensive reinforcement for their big matchup in New England. We'll tell you what Richard Sherman actually does for the defending champs. Thursday morning, Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, ESPN Radio.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios. Let's ride.
Hour 3. Off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Yuso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. And oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Yep.
It's hump day.
Let's hump, everybody.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
TJ Finley in 12 minutes. Jahri Evans was here in hour 1.
It's hump day.
Saints injury report.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Getting healthier. Paul remembers the Diesel Driving Academy theme.
It's hump day.
Musso was a little slow back at about 428.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
And he's nervous about the Red Sox. Oh, Muse.
It's hump day.
You're furrowing your brow, Muse.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Hey, Paul.
Yeah.
It's hump day.
Is he mad at me?
Mike.
So.
What day is it, Mike?
Yeah. Looks a little mad. Hey, Muse.
Yeah.
Erica thinks it's funny.
It's what's funny.
But really, do you think the Red Sox are going to make the wild card game?
I do think they'll make the wild card game.
I don't. I'd laugh so hard if they don't. I mean, they should, but I will have some fun. That's my only enjoyment for the remainder of the season, Muse. Beating Mac Chiuili and watching Boston not make it into the wildcard game. That'll be my only enjoyment the rest of the way.
I wouldn't speak so soon, but okay. I mean, okay, if that's your only enjoyment, then if that's your only enjoyment and the Yankees start winning, you're not allowed to enjoy it.
The Yankees aren't winning anything.
Anybody can get hot. They are extremely talented.
I'm not allowing them to do it to me again this year.
Okay.
Not allowing them to do it
Then
to me.
I'm holding you to that. If they start going on a run in the playoffs, you're not allowed to enjoy it.
Oh, I can absolutely
You just said you got all your enjoyment. You got all your enjoyment out of it, and they're not doing it to you again.
It's just realism. It's just realism. All right. TJ Finley coming up in 10 minutes from right now. A former LSU quarterback, now Auburn quarterback. What a week for TJ Finley. He comes off the bench and leads Auburn to a game-winning touchdown drive, throwing the touchdown pass on a 4th down play, 4th and 9 from the 10-yard line with 40 seconds to play in the ball game, and rallies Auburn. And there's a lot of sentiment in Auburn, Alabama today. They want TJ Finley to be the starter this week and moving forward for this Auburn team. And we will talk to TJ Finley again 10 minutes. Full disclosure, I was able to talk to TJ. They're practicing this afternoon. So I talked to TJ this morning. You'll hear our conversation coming up in about 10 minutes from right now. Ed Ogeron this morning was on the SEC Coaches Teleconference, as was Brian Harsin. And Ogeron previewing this Auburn matchup, talking about this Auburn team.
Obviously, a lot of respect for the Auburn Tigers. This has been a battle throughout the years. They have a very good run game. Tank Bigsby and the running backs run the ball very hard. They're very well coached. This is going to be a challenge to stop the run. Auburn has a lot of speed, great defensive line. Typical Auburn-LSU matchup. Saturday night, Tiger Stadium is going to be great.
I really hope it's full. I know that it's 8 o'clock, and neither of these teams are top 10. Only Auburn is ranked, and they're 23rd, but still, an LSU-Auburn game is always special, and it's the first time for an SEC game in Tiger Stadium that can be at capacity since that Joe Burrow senior night against Texas A&M in 2019. So, long time coming, and hopefully it's a great atmosphere in Tiger Stadium on Saturday night. Listen, Tiger Stadium, a lot of people do lament the fact that a lot of it's been commercialized, and I understand that, but I will stand by this, that Tiger Stadium is still the best big game venue anywhere in college football. When something matters and a big opponent is in and you need that place to be special, it is, and it always delivers, and hopefully it does on Saturday as well. Brian Harsin will have his first taste of SEC action. This will be Auburn's SEC opener on Saturday in Tiger Stadium, and here's what the Auburn coach had to say about it.
Yeah, I think the guys since Sunday, the attitude has been good as far as just knowing the work we need to do leading into conference play, and then also just to improve as a team and each individual player, things they need to work on. They've spoken with the coaches, and so it's one or two things that every player we need to focus on, not all at once. And then certainly as a team, just having ourselves better prepared through the week. The exciting part is you get a chance to get into conference play, another opportunity to go on the road, play a really good team. I think gets everybody excited about just the challenge that we have in front of us. And as you watch LSU, they're very good, they're very talented. So the guys are hopefully going to show up today and have another good day. I thought yesterday's practice we got some things in, and there was good energy out there. Need to have that again today, and then finish out this week and get ready to go over to LSU and play.
So it'll be LSU and Auburn Saturday. We will go deeper dive into the particulars of the matchup as we move through the rest of the week. But what I also found interesting, we've checked in on this every week throughout the year. It's what does ESPN's FPI, their football power index, or the football percentage index, say about the remainder of the schedule. Remember, they have their algorithm, they plug it in, and it spits out win probabilities for every game. At the start of this season, they had LSU around a 7-win team. But you got to remember, some of those games are virtual coin flips, where maybe LSU had a 48% probability of winning a game. It's a coin flip, but if it was, if LSU had a 48%, was less than 50%, so it was in the red, it was a projected loss, is how they had it. So as of right now, LSU's projected win total, according to FPI, is 6.7 wins to 5.3 losses. So somewhere around 6 and 6, 7 and 5 is what FPI is projecting for LSU. A giant part of that reason is, if you're watching, I'll highlight this for you. The strength of schedule rank, the remaining strength of schedule, LSU has the third toughest remaining strength of schedule in the country, according to FPI. That's the problem. When you're a team that has some flaws and you face that type of schedule, how do you manage is certainly a big part of this. But I will remind you that, after LSU faced UCLA, they were only favored from FPI against ULM. That was it. Every other game, LSU was an underdog after the UCLA loss. And keep in mind, the more games that are played, the algorithm has more inputs. So it can spit out a more accurate result based on the larger sample size. And so it's adjusted. And now LSU has won 3 in a row. And as you look at what FPI is projecting, and again, this isn't a be-all, end-all. This is one metric, but if you listen, I put my stock in 2 things primarily. Las Vegas, because as we say, their school color is green. All they care about is money. And computer metrics, because there's no bias. It's not to say that the algorithm is perfect, but it's an unbiased representation. And if you look at, if you're watching with us here, you can see the red and the green numbers. The green numbers are where LSU has a better than 50-50 probability of winning. The red numbers are where they have a less than 50% probability of winning. So if you're listening, I'll go through this. FPI gives LSU a 52% chance of winning against Auburn. It's a virtual coin flip. They give LSU a 54% chance of winning at Kentucky. Another virtual coin flip. Then it gets really dicey. 33% against Florida, 24% against Ole Miss, 8% against Alabama. You can effectively take those 3 games and scribble L's next to them, according to FPI. So the tricky part is, and LSU has a 97% probability of beating ULM. So effectively, this is what LSU season comes down to, according to FPI. You're going to beat ULM. You're going to lose to Florida, Ole Miss, and Bama. You have 4 other games that are virtual coin flips. Auburn, Kentucky, Arkansas, Texas A&M. So when you look at that stretch, and you got a 52% chance of beating Auburn, a 54% chance of beating Kentucky, a 48% chance of beating Arkansas. So FPI has gone much higher on Arkansas now, but then a 52% chance of beating A&M. So A&M has dropped. Basically, A&M and Arkansas have flipped, effectively, is what happened. You've got those 4 games, and that's going to determine what your season is. If LSU is able to go 3-1 in those 4 games, let's say they lose to Florida, Ole Miss, and Bama, and then they go 3-1 in the games I just mentioned, Auburn, Kentucky, A&M, and Arkansas. If you go 3-1 in those games, you finish 7-5, 4-4 in the league. Is that good enough? Personally, I don't think so, based on what I've shared with you here, and we've talked about a lot throughout this year, which is for Ed Ogeron, he needed 9-3 to feel safe. 8-4 was iffy, depending on how it looked. 7-5, LSU was going to be hiring a new coach. At this point, when you look at those metrics, 7-5 is going to be a challenge. But 7-5 would also include some really nice wins. But would that be enough to continue moving forward with this staff and regime? And that's a conversation, that's a question that Scott Woodward's going to have to answer at the end of the season. But Tigers are 3.5-point favorite against Auburn. FPI gives them a 52% chance of winning this game. So you have a coin flip this weekend. You have a 50-50 game, which is why having a home crowd at a game like this matters so much. Let that be the influence. I mean, that's how Penn State beat Auburn. I mean, Auburn outrushed Penn State by 100 yards. Auburn had more first downs. They won the time of possession. Auburn won so much of the yardstick in that game, but they had a key red zone possession where they couldn't score. You have a key turnover. You let the crowd have its impact in the game. And maybe that's the difference for LSU this weekend against Auburn. I mean, I'm not telling you that history determines outcomes of games, but there's a reason why Auburn hasn't won in Baton Rouge in more than 20 years. I'm not saying those teams have any influence on this team, but all of that is a sample size and a reason to show why it's very hard to come win here when these two teams are generally evenly matched. So it's a big, big, big opportunity for LSU, especially considering what's ahead for the rest of October. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. We're brought to you by GMFS Mortgage and GMFSmortgage.com. Changing lives since 1999. Home buy, refi, construction loans, and disaster relief. It's GMFS Mortgage. GMFSmortgage.com. Find a local loan officer nearest you by logging on to GMFSmortgage.com. They are Louisiana's largest local lender, so no matter where you are in Louisiana, there is a local loan officer near you. It's GMFS Mortgage. Check them out online, GMFSmortgage.com. GMFS Mortgage, changing lives. Okay, it's After Further Review. Let me knock out a quick break. When we come back, our conversation with TJ Finley. That's coming up. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Of course, LSU with a home game this weekend. Auburn coming in. If you plan on being in Tiger Stadium, you got to make sure that you get your negative PCR test or your proof of vaccination. Baton Rouge General is making it happen. I actually had someone message me via the text line earlier today asking what the best locations of the Baton Rouge General are to get your shot or your PCR test. Remember, it's their express care locations. Please don't go to the hospital to get your test or your vaccine. You can log on to brgeneral.org. At the top of the page, you'll see COVID-19 vaccine information, and you can schedule your vaccine there. brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org. I want to remind you also that the express care locations around LSU's campus are open on game day. So on Highland, just through the South Gates, and on Nicholson, directly across from Tiger Stadium. Learn more or schedule your vaccine at brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Tonight, we invite you to celebrate life, wherever and whenever you can, understanding that time is never on our side. Instead, gather up your friends tonight and share a few stories and laughs over a good bottle of wine. Or maybe a family meal that gives everyone a chance to reconnect and remember what's really important, whether it's for a birthday, an anniversary, or simply to remind someone special that they are loved. Rufino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
It's never boring when LSU and Auburn get together, and this week has obviously added another layer of intrigue as former LSU and current Auburn quarterback TJ Finley returns to Baton Rouge after leading a game-winning drive this past Saturday against Georgia State. And TJ Finley's good enough to join us for a couple of minutes here on the show. Hey, it's great to have you back, man. Thanks for the time. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
No, man, it's our pleasure. We always appreciate a couple of minutes, especially on game week. So what for you personally, let me leave this open-ended. What's this week like for you, given all the circumstances that we just described, with you coming back to your home state, back to the stadium where you played a year ago with a new team, the week after leading the game-winning touchdown drive? What's this week like for you?
It's an amazing experience to be able to go through this week. Like you said, I get to come back to my hometown and put on for my city. Whether I'm the starter or the backup, I look forward to being in Tiger Stadium with 100,000 strong. It's a night game in Baton Rouge, so you know how crazy that gets. So like I said, whether I'm starting or not, I can't wait to be in the atmosphere and just to be on the sideline with my guys. And we're preparing day in and day out to go in and do what we have to do, and hopefully we're gonna leave it in God's hand and we come out with the victory.
I was thinking about that. You never got to be in a capacity to play in a full capacity Tiger Stadium. And you also have you ever even been in the visitors' locker room at Tiger Stadium?
No, I have not. This will be the first time. Like you said, I would be within 100,000 strong, other than Penn State. And then as far as the visitors' locker room, no, I've never been in the visitors' locker room of LSU, but I heard it wasn't that good. So
TJ, I'll fill you in.
Wonder how that's gonna work.
It's not as nice as the one you were in last year. Trust me.
Exactly.
Go back to this Saturday for a minute with me. This last Saturday, what was it like? Walk me through the moment when Brian Harsin or whoever it was came up to you and told you that you were going in the game against Georgia State.
Yeah. So the second half came up. We weren't really moving the ball. We were struggling on offense, and I guess Coach Harsin had tried everything that he could. He had put different receivers in the game, different running back. We moved in and out some offensive line pieces and things like that. So I guess his last resort was to change quarterbacks, and I've been through that situation already. Last year I've been through it. Unfortunately, the stuff that caused me to come out was my turnovers. So I told Bo a couple of days ago, I've been through the same situation he's been through. It's all about mental strength and being able to handle the ups and downs of football, because there are going to be ups and downs, and I know that for a fact. So Coach Harsin came up to me and he grabbed me and he was like, just go operate, and that's when I knew I was going in. He just told me simply, and practice, because practice preparation equals game reality. So, that for me, I take practice serious, and I try to push my guys along with me to take practice as serious as I do. And I think we've done a good job at that. So me coming in the game, we didn't skip a beat because we've been working on that in practice. So it wasn't nothing spectacular that I did. It just all comes from practice and preparation in the meeting rooms and things like that. So
13 plays, 98 yards, 2 minutes and 38 seconds. That was the game-winning drive. But I got to ask you about the fourth down play, man. 45 seconds left on the clock. It's 4th and 9 from the 10-yard line. It was theatrical. What did you see on that play?
Well, first of all, I was kind of pissed off at myself because I missed a wide-open third down touchdown. That could have sealed the game right there, and we wouldn't be talking about this fourth down play. But God had a different plan, so I got the ball. I checked the protection. I saw it was a nickel blitz, and they were running 6-man pressure. So I checked the protection, slide left, and then, I knew where I was the ball. My man didn't win on the route immediately, so I didn't want to throw it out of bounds. Of course, it was fourth down, so I tried to make something happen with my feet. I tried to roll out left, too much pressure on the left-hand side, so I came back, kept my balance, and Cedric Jackson did an amazing job coming open for me in the back of the end zone, and I just threw it to him. And you know, like I said, we've been working on scramble drill in practice. Whenever we scramble, work back to the ball. Offensive line did an amazing job to continue to play. No matter if I was scrambling or if I was just standing still in the pocket, they continued to play the whole play, and we just made it happen.
TJ Finley is our guest. Auburn and LSU, 8 o'clock this Saturday in Tiger Stadium. I remember talking to you when you made the decision to transfer to Auburn, and you were pretty candid with us and told us that it was one of those things where you were going there to start, that you were going to have an opportunity to win the starting job and be a starter. Do you feel like this is your opportunity?
Whether it's my opportunity or not, I'm going to stay ready. I don't really want to get into the whether I'm starting or this is my opportunity. God will let me know when my opportunity is, and I just want to be prepared for whenever that time comes. Whether it's this weekend, next year. I just want to be always ready for my opportunity. I want to lead these guys to be the best men they can be on and off the field, set examples on and off the field of how Auburn men should be. So, like I said, whether my opportunity is now, whether my opportunity was last week, whether my opportunity is next year, I'm going to be the same TJ Finley regardless. So I just want to be prepared for any outcome, any positives, any negatives that happen in this game of football, because there will be some.
What's it been like with your family and friends this week back home?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. What'd you say?
What's it been like this week with your family and friends back home?
Yeah, it's crazy right now. They can't wait until the game. They all got tickets. I think I round up like 16 to 20 tickets for my family. So it's going to be packed out. My family will be there to support me, and I just can't wait to put on a show for them, and also the people back home that's watching on their TVs.
What about your former teammates at LSU? Do you all have any conversations on a game week like this?
Yeah, most definitely. It's all love, and then when the ball snaps, we're at war. But I've been going against these guys all my college career, and we've had some moments where we talk smack to each other and things like that. So there's definitely some camaraderie on there. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's all love, and we just can't wait to go out and compete. And like I told them guys, we're all auditioning for the NFL. So as long as we're doing what we're supposed to do, God will take care of the rest, and we just got to go out there and make it happen.
Got a couple more for you. TJ Finley is our guest. A lot of people have kind of asked the question this way, which is when it's you against your former team, where does the advantage lie? Is it with you because you know those defensive personnel, or is it with LSU because they've seen you and they know maybe your tendencies?
Well, I would say it's with me. To be honest, because like you said, I do know the defensive personnel. I know I've seen these guys a lot, throughout my college career. So I know their tendencies. I know what they like to do. I know how they do it. I was around Coach Durante Jones when he came in, so I know a little bit of his defense and what he wants to run mainly and primarily. And LSU, I don't think they really have they have a good grasp of who I am and what I like to do. But I'm a year older. I'm a more experienced quarterback in this league. And each year I plan to get better and better. So, they really are based off, they're going off what happened last year. And I'm a year older and I guess I'm a more experienced quarterback. So it's kind of harder to put the pieces together for them because, like I said, I'm a year older and I know a lot more than I did last year.
And Derek Stingley has a foot injury. His opportunity to play in this game is questionable right now. How big of a deal is that for the LSU secondary if Derek's not out there on Saturday?
Well, I look forward to being able to compete against Derek. He's an All-American. He's one of the greatest, and I don't shy away from competition. I think me or Bo was really looking forward to being able to play against him and Eli Ricks. They're both two amazing corners. But unfortunately, he might be out, and the next DB that steps up, we're going to have that same mindset. We're not going to shy away from competition, and I just can't wait to go out there and compete with them guys and have some fun.
I get two more things for you. Number one, do you know when you all will learn who will be the starter this week, if it'll be you or Bo?
No, we do not. And whenever that decision is made, the coaches will let you guys know. But me and Bo are preparing to both play and to both be the starters. And, we do that every week. We go in and we compete with each other week in and week out. And the coach's decision is the coach's decision. And, we just go with it and we do our job. And as long as we do our 1/11th of the offense, then we're completing our job.
Man, before you go, we mentioned that, you're going to get to experience a capacity Tiger Stadium for the first time. But what else? Like, what are you most excited to either experience for the first time or experience again that you've missed being away from home?
Really just my family. All my family being at the game. When I was at LSU, all my family made it to all the home games and things like that. And then my immediate family, my mom and dad and my brother, and some of my aunts traveled with me to away games. And then this Hurricane Ida was really tough on Louisiana. So me coming back home and putting on a show for my hometown and Louisiana as a whole, I think will speak volume and give Louisiana some hope and things like that. So I just can't wait for that opportunity to show itself and me take that opportunity to just give God the glory for all he's done and all he's continuing to do. So I just can't wait for that.
Auburn quarterback TJ Finley, class act, man. Always appreciate some time when we can get it, especially here on game week. Good luck on Saturday, man. We look forward to seeing you play in Tiger Stadium.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. War Eagle.
You had to get War Eagle on the way out. It's after further. I've always enjoyed talking to TJ. He's a good kid. He's always been a pleasure to talk to, deal with. Appreciated making some time today. All right, it's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. Buy local, shop local. 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Love this time of year. Man, Clegg's Nursery around fall is just awesome because that's where you walk into any of their locations and it is exploding with color. All of the fall earth tones, the oranges and the browns. Just an amazing time to get by Clegg's Nursery. If you want pumpkins or hay bales or squash or gourds or any of the amazing fall items to decorate your home, your patio area, Clegg's has them all right now. Tell you every day to buy local and shop local. Locations all over the greater Baton Rouge area. Seaganeer Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Get your pumpkins. If you want to plant that fall vegetable garden, they've got Johnny Naylor seeds there. They've got your garden flags and your doormats. Everything you need for fall to make your house pop, they've got it at Clegg's Nursery. So, find the location nearest you. Buy local, shop local. Tell them Matt sent you to Clegg's Nursery.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. Need repair? Our service department is ready and available to help you today. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person. Connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health. innovating healthcare.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
If home is where the heart is, a roof is a shield. That's why for over 25 years, South Louisiana always turns to Garcia Roofing and Sheet Metal.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, rolling along here in hour number 3. Thanks again to TJ Finley, who was just with us. Jahri Evans was here in hour number 1. We had overrated, underrated, went through the Saints injury report. Ton there if you missed anything. AFR On Demand presented by Breck Golf. Book your tee time, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org. It's all there, or on the After Further Review YouTube channels. There's an After Further Review Saints and After Further Review LSU channel. So if you want any of that content independent of each other, it's all there. Subscribe up on the channels, and please like all of those posts. As the YouTubers would say, smash the like button. We appreciate that. It helps with the algorithm, etc. So we'll get to Jimmy Ott for Otterlocks here about 10 minutes from right now. One quick note, just very quickly. College football playoff executive director Bill Hancock today did meet with reporters after there was a meeting of the 10 FBS commissioners and Jack Swarbrick, who's the athletic director at Notre Dame. They met for about 2 hours in a hotel room today in Indianapolis near Big Ten headquarters. Not in Indianapolis, excuse me, in Illinois near Big Ten headquarters. And they video conferenced in the CFP's Board of Managers. Now, the Board of Managers, I don't mean to go too off the rails here, but there's one representative from the 11 participating conferences, the Power Five and the Group of Five, and then of course Notre Dame. So that's the 11. So they were joined via video conference, and the whole idea today was a determining factor about whether or not the college football playoff would expand. And ultimately, what they decided today, and what Bill Hancock said, is that they have the luxury of time. The current contract, they're in the 8th year of a 12-year contract. They're not rushed to make any type of decision. The obvious contradiction is that 8 weeks ago, this was a foregone conclusion that they were expanding and doing so immediately. And then two things happened. The Big Ten and the Pac-12 got miffed because of the Rose Bowl, which does not want to move its TV rights and does not want to move off of New Year's Day during its daytime slot. The Rose Bowl is one. And two, SEC expansion with Texas and Oklahoma, because the rest of college football looked and went, wait a minute, we're going to expand this playoff. You're adding Texas and Oklahoma. You're going to make your league even deeper. You're going to have more seats at the table in this expanded playoff. You're going to get even more money. Let's pump the brakes and think this thing through. I would actually argue the contrary. I would say you want an expanded playoff if you're those other teams, because it guarantees you a seat at the table, which is not the reality now with a 4-team playoff, especially in years like this one where you may very well have 2 SEC teams in the playoff. You've already seen that once before. It's been eons since the Pac-12's had a team in. I mean, the ACC has effectively already been eliminated because Clemson has 2 losses. So I could make the argument for an expanded playoff, but Listen, Bill Hancock is a very good man. But he is nothing more than the spin doctor for this organization. I did this exercise earlier today. If you go type in into a Google search, Bill Hancock CFP expansion, and put in a date like 2018, and you'll see all of these quotes from Bill Hancock where he says there was no desire to expand, there was no need to expand. In 2018, he said, play a good schedule, win your games, and you'll be in the hunt. That was sort of in reaction to the Central Florida issue when that popped up. In 2019, a year later, Bill Hancock, when asked about the possibility of playoff expansion, quote, I don't see it. I mean, over and over again, you could see that where he's defending the stance, and once things move, now you have a quote like he has today where he says, quote, I can't stress enough, it's exactly how the process should work. I never expected a rubber stamp on this. It's too complex. Again, we all expected a rubber stamp on this, and it would have been rubber stamped but for the changing variables of Texas and Oklahoma jumping into the SEC after that 12-team format was what was recommended from that working group. It was going to happen, and now it's going to not happen in the immediate short term. So I don't know when this might happen. It's going to expand. That part is inevitable. When and how it looks is sort of the big question now. The current college football playoff deal runs through 2025. So you're looking at another 4 years of this 12-year. They're in year 8 of a 12-year contract. So you got another 4 years of this before they would have to come up with either an extended or expanded extension of the current model or an expansion of the model. But that feels like an inevitability. It's just a matter of when that happens. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com, theantiagingclinics.com. A simple blood test can let you know if you're a candidate for hormone replacement therapy. And listen, when you go do that blood test, they'll draw a vial of blood, send it off to the lab, you get your results, and you will meet with Dr. Todd Howell, a medical doctor who will go over your blood labs with you and everything. I mean, I do this every 6 months with Dr. Howell. He'll go over your testosterone, your growth hormone, your estrogen, your cholesterol, your good and your bad cholesterol. He'll go over all of your different levels for all of your different organs. If it's your all of your functions of your liver and all your kidneys and everything. And if there's anything that's imbalanced, like they found early stages of cancers with this because of imbalances in levels. But either way, they can safely and affordably supplement you to get you to healthy levels, to get you feeling like your younger self again. TheAntiAgingClinics.com, TheAntiAgingClinics.com. Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge near Perkins, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, and online at TheAntiAgingClinics.com. But it's After Further Review. The other big news today, and again, a shout out to Jahri Evans, who was with us earlier today, and to the rest of the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame class of 2022, which was announced today. The late, great Eric Andelsek will be inducted into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. Steve Duhan, who's a rodeo cowboy. Clanny Duplachen, who is just a legendary high school track and field and cross-country coach, will be going into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. As we mentioned, Jahri Evans. This is all alphabetical, by the way. Dr. Eddie Flynn, who is there's a black and white photo of him boxing, so I don't have a bio there. Forgive me for that, but he's going in. Susan Jackson, who was one of the greatest gymnasts in the history of LSU. She's already been inducted into the LSU Sports Hall of Fame. Now she's going into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. Brittany Sneed Newman, you might remember Brittany Sneed was just a dominant pitcher for LSU, late 90s, early 2000s for the softball team. The late Tony Robichaux from ULL, the legendary baseball coach there who unfortunately passed a little more than a year ago. But Coach Robe is going into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. And how about Kyle Williams, a former LSU great who spent his entire NFL career with the Buffalo Bills. Kyle Williams goes into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame as well. So congrats to the entire 2022 class for the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. They will be honored. They will be inducted at the ceremony in Natchitoches in June. And there is a golf tournament in Baton Rouge in November. So if you're interested in participating in that or any of the events, you can get tickets at lasportshall.com. It's lasportshall.com to learn more. You can click on the events tab, and you get more information on the events going on. All right, it's after further review. We'll knock out our final break of the show. When we come back, Jimmy Ott will be here for a little Otter Locks. Tell us what we're betting on tonight. One segment left to go. Stick around. It's AFR presented by Pluckers.
AFR.
The response to our messages about Pinnacle exterior construction, especially post-Ida, has been fantastic. So, very pleased to have great businesses that not only do great work, but obviously timely and lend a helping hand when they're needed. And Pinnacle has done that, kind of shifting part of what they do because they have the crews necessary. It's Pinnacle exterior construction, and they do custom pools and outdoor kitchens and fences and decks and bulkheads and all those things that I tell you about all the time, where they'll take your boring backyard and turn it into a show place like they did my outdoor kitchen. But they have crews available to remove trees and fences. So if you had down trees or down fences on your property, even if it's a fence for an entire neighborhood, they can tear down, haul away, repair, or replace your fences. Pinnacle Exterior Construction, 757-6138, 757-6138, or online at pecbuilt.com.
Introducing Vizzy Lemonade, the only lemonade hard seltzer with antioxidant vitamin C. It just hits different. All new Vizzy Lemonade. Step up your seltzer game.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at patientplusuc.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
And our topic today is about savings. What is savings?
Hancock Whitney isn't just a bank for our clients. We're investing in our hometowns, making life better for everyone. So keep dreaming. We've got your back.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, presented by Pluckers Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Down the stretch we come, wrapping up a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Pluckers. We got one thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. It's time for Otterlocks.
Otterlocks, presented by Clark Crane Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in St. Francisville. Because a great deal is worth a short drive to Clark Crane.
So we turn to the one and only, the incomparable and often incomprehensible, the Ott Father himself, Jimmy Ott. How are you, Otter?
Doing good, Matt. Seattle hits last night, Atlanta hit, and 2 of our 3 legs of the parlay hit, but Boston, of all people, the Red Sox lose to the Orioles. So with 2 straight plays, how about Seattle, man?
You just hate to see Boston lose, huh?
A half game out of the wild card now. Won 11 in a row over the Oakland A's. So,
Otter, you just hate to see
this?
you hate to see Boston lose. You just hate to see it.
Hate to see what?
You hate to see Boston lose, especially such a heavy favorite. It breaks your heart to see it.
Oh, I should have known the mojo in this show, huh? I should have known. Should have known. Hey, so we gave you a Boston -1.5, San Francisco, Los Angeles Dodgers 3-teamer, right?
Right.
Last night. Guess what tonight we're going to give you?
A 3-teamer.
Boston -1.5, San Francisco, LA Dodgers 3-teamer. Okay, we're going right back to it. It pays $2.01.
All right.
Roughly 2-1. Okay, coming back with Musso. Come on, give us what your boy Baldy. So we'll get a Baldy out there. San Francisco is not going to. The Dodgers are going to go over their win total of 102.5 this week. Okay, and still probably be in the wild card against a team that's won 17 games in a row.
It's crazy.
I mean, it's crazy, man. But isn't it fun? At least these teams are in it. You know that are playing so well. So it's much needed. Memo to what you were talking about earlier with the college football playoff. Yeah, you need a little bit more than 3% of your total teams to make it to the playoffs. So,
hey man, this year's going to be fun though, Otter, because I mean Clemson's out. I think Oklahoma's a fraud.
No,
this is going to be a fun year.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. It's there's been a bunch of theories thrown around, but the obvious one is you had the players drafted. Everybody else that didn't get drafted pretty much came back. Minus Northwestern. They got real degrees and they went off to real world. But I mean, and there's a little bit of a distraction with the NIL deal going on. I mean, a little bit. I mean, Spencer Rattler is still the odds-on favorite to be the first quarterback taken.
Oh,
that's a joke.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, they're struggling at home against Nebraska, Tulane, and West Virginia. I mean, life or death with those teams. So I think it's great. I think it's they wanted to try and legislate it to bring parity and spread the game, grow the game, whatever. But then it just happened naturally this year. It's been wide open. You know what it is too? It is a money line, some money line opportunity.
Oh yeah,
because that just aren't. I mean, I'm going to go against Clemson again. I mean, until they can get a few first downs. Matt, they had less than 40 snaps in regulation Saturday. Less than 40 snaps. They had 7 3-and-outs and 6 first downs at one point in the game. I mean, it's you're going to give me plus $3 against them. I'm all over it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I got 2 more plays for you again. I'm going with Atlanta again against Philadelphia. Sorry, going against our homeboy Aaron Nola, but this has been his toughest year. His toughest season. He'll probably be back. It wasn't long ago, his first full season. It was him, DeGrom, and Scherzer going neck and neck. Three-player race for the Cy Young very deep into the season. Kind of an outlier. You can have these as pitchers. You can have career years like an R.A. Dickey, Cy Young, and you can have these. But I'm sure he'll be back. But he just hasn't been his usual self this year. So Max Fried is the pick, minus $1.35 at home. And why? Was it keep it simple, stupid, huh? I mean, really, Seattle, are we going to change anything? Give us minus $1.10 at home against Oakland. They've beaten 11 straight times. Now Oakland is out of it with a comparable pitching matchup. Seattle and Atlanta straight plays in our favorite little 3-team teaser, paying $2.01. Give me my dollar. Give me my dollar. I want my dollar. Boston minus 1.5. San Francisco, who just refuses to lose. in the Los Angeles Dodgers.
I will gladly watch you lose that 3-team parlay if it means Boston losing again to Baltimore, just so I can watch Musso squirm a little more tomorrow. He's starting to furl his brow a little bit at me, Otter. It's getting a little real in here.
I mean, I just have memories of when they were down, 3-0 and 3-1 in this year, the ALCS. They kept showing the fans. I mean, how much airtime did those sappy Boston Red Sox fans get in that LCS where they came back and won enough? Over and over.
Musso wouldn't know anything about that, nor would any Boston fan here, because nobody became a fan until after 2004. That's basically how that all
Hey, Matt,
that doesn't make any sense.
Speaking of history, a little special show tomorrow, 10 a.m. to noon. Myself and Tex Morris, because one of the byproducts of Oklahoma and Texas coming into the conference, we're going to lose this Auburn LSU annual series.
Yeah.
Okay, it's gone. Bye-bye. So this will be the 30th straight year. Myself, Hanny, Tex Morris, Gil Cameron, Cole Kubelik. I mean, a lot of contributions. Bruce Marshall, who was at Super Bowl I, he kind of knows a little bit.
I got 5 seconds. I got to go, man. Have a great show. Y'all tuned into Jimmy Ott. We'll see you. It's AFR.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, remind you about South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com, new and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. Shop online and then go test drive. I tell you all the time, if it's on the lot, it's online at southpointvw.com. So you can go to the website, and right there at the top of the page, you'll see new vehicles and used vehicles. So if it's new or certified pre-owned, tap whichever applies. And then, boom, if it's on the lot, it's online, and you can search the inventory right there. Like there's a brand new 2022 Taos SE. That is the fun-sized SUV. You could shop it right now and see pictures of the actual vehicle that's there at South Point Volkswagen at southpointvw.com. Again, new and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. 9 different IIHS top safety picks. The great German engineering without the cost. It's Volkswagen. At South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction?
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.